It's Manuel.
Oh, Savannah.
He is a cute boy.
Yes.
Why isn't my chat moving? Chat's gonna cover Topshelfers a little bit, but that's okay.
Well, you know, sometimes shit happens.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
You wish it didn't, but
But
it
do. It always do. Damn,
As sad as that is to say. So how was Wendover?
shitty. Ow, fuck.
Did you guys get the depressing Burger King at least?
Yeah, I wasn't depressed because I didn't really spend money, so I was like, yeah, this is fine by me.
Burger King.
Yeah. And for them though, it was, I don't know, Cameron probably depressed. He didn't spend like crazy amount, but yeah, we got Burger King and I got some hella nugs.
Some hella nugs.
Yeah, that sounds good right now, Burger King.
$1 for 10.
I have a $10 gift card to
You can get 100 nuggets.
I didn't know, so I had these gift cards in my wallet that I thought were empty. A Taco Bell and a Chipotle. They still got monies on them.
Damn.
I just threw them on my kitchen or my table when I was changing wallets. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they're empty. And she looked it up, and nope, they're not.
Damn.
So I got some fucking.
Go get some tacos.
And I was going to earlier, and then
But you fucked up.
one of these days on my way over here, I'll stop by because they close at midnight, which is weird. Hey, Salty.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Except for on weekends, I think the drive-thru stays up until 1. No, that looks awful. Yeah, so... Why am I so boars? It's okay.
Why can I never spell Oregon? It's a dumb word.
Like
Oregon
Oregon.
or like organ donor.
No,
Oregon.
like the state.
Oregon.
O-R-E-G-O-N.
Oregon.
Yeah, I always spell it
I was like,
wrong,
I'm pretty sure.
Just say it like you would say it in Spanish. Oregon.
There you go. I just gotta think of Reagan now.
That too.
I thought he said Reagan now. I was like, what does Ronald Reagan have to do with the fucking state? He loves Oregon. My dad, I don't know if I told you, but I've been watching the documentary on... Oh, I think I did tell you about that. Ronald Reagan selling crack to the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did I tell you about the guy's comment on Twitter? Some guy's like, name a better drug dealer than El Chapo. I think that's what he did. He's like, I bet you can't. And some guy's like, Ronald Reagan. Just, so funny.
Wait, what did you say? Better than who?
I think he said El Chapo.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought
Did
said
he?
El Chapo. I'm like,
Or did he say? I don't know. He said one of the drug kingpins. One of the couple.
Some of the boys.
I don't remember which one he said, but yeah, the guy's like Ronald Reagan.
You finished the what is it called? Narcos, but for
Narcos Mexico?
yes.
I still haven't started any Narcos.
Surprisingly, really like that one. A lot better than the other one, but I haven't finished the other one either.
I haven't watched either yet.
I've heard they're both real good.
They're making a part 2 for that one, for the Mexico one.
Oh, really? That's rad. Yeah, I need to check them out. I've been watching weird stuff. What did I just watch besides 8-Legged Freaks? Oh yeah, I started watching The Ranch because I'd only seen random episodes of it.
Yeah.
Sarah's obsessed with
It's
that.
a pretty good show. It makes me want to become a rancher just so it makes sense for my alcoholism. Just so I don't feel so bad about myself. Because they wake up every day and do hard work, but they sure drink a lot. The funniest is they said the whole time they were filming, like every time you see them drinking, they're actually drinking booze.
Really?
Yeah. They love Jameson and Budweiser.
Is that the one with Sam Elliott? Is it Sam? No.
Yes.
Is it Sam Elliott?
Yeah.
And
There's a bunch of
Punked Boy.
people from what's that show he was?
That 70s show?
Yep.
That's what's
That
his
show
name? Ashton Kutcher, and then the other dude.
The other guy that smoke. Is it the one that smokes a lot?
Yeah.
The one with the shades.
Yeah.
And that
70s
show.
But
and
yeah,
then
I can't remember his...
Also his
Oh, Hyde was in 1 or 2 episodes of it.
Even like the parents.
Yeah, they all show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
they're
pretty
always-
cool.
All of them but one, which was I think the main guy.
Yeah, I think
and maybe
Topher
one or
wasn't-
2 other ones.
I think Topher Grace wasn't in it, but Yeah, and I didn't know Ashton Kutcher chews too. So like,
Oh, really?
he has chewing the whole time. You always see him. Like, you think he's doing it for the show, and like, no, he actually does. Like,
Oh.
it just made sense for the role too. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's it's a pretty good show. The funniest is the God, I keep forgetting his name, but Hyde in that '70s show. I forget his real name. His nickname, and it's a Rooster, but his real name's Jameson. I was like, that's so funny. But yeah, Rooster. He reminds me of Matthew McConaughey because he was hanging out at the high school because he's one of the football coaches, and he's just talking about him. He's like, the one girl is like, "Hey, are you a senior?" He just asked him that, and then he's like, "Oh, look at the new teachers," and they're like, "No, those are juniors." And he's like, "Oh God, thanks for telling me that one." It's so funny. He keeps telling Ashton Kutcher that he had sex with his ex-girlfriend. He's like, he says something. Hey, they're sitting together, the ex-girlfriend, Ashton Kutcher and him, and he's like, hey, don't tell him the details about what we did. And she's like, what details? And he's like, that's my girl. And walks away. And then Ashton Kutcher is like, I still don't know if he had sex with my girlfriend or not. She keeps telling him he did.
damn.
Yeah, it's real good.
Is what was I gonna say? Does Red Foreman play the same character when he's on it?
I haven't seen him yet in it.
Oh, he's the
I
best.
just know they show all of them pretty much show up in random episodes.
Red Form. Which one's that one?
The dad
Yeah.
in that '70s show. The one who always said he'll kick.
No, I'm trying to remember what episode he was in and what he was doing.
So I watched Creep,
I can't remember. What?
movie Creep. It's on Netflix. Forrest and Salty have been telling me to watch it for quite some time now.
It's pretty it's real creepy. It's a perfect title for the movie.
I thought it was gonna be really dumb. Like I thought you guys wanted me to watch it because it was like a haha, this movie's so bad.
Yeah.
It's actually like
Yeah,
a pretty good horror movie. Like
Yeah.
it was fucked up.
Tough times.
Like
It's so fucking funny though when he just sprints away.
yeah.
You're just like, what?
They're in the woods and he just like, you see that? It just books it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Definitely a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. Creep 2's pretty weird too though.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Salty wanted to do a watch along.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Salty said name a more iconic duo than 140th President Boyo and the thing you step on to break your mom's back.
God damn it. Good old crack.
Sam Elliott just plays the dad from the '70s show, basically. Oh.
Yeah, but much more edgy. Like, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it swears a lot too. He's like, you fucking, yeah, they're always swearing and stuff. But the funniest is, they told him he needs to change his diet because he's getting older, and then like, you need to cut out red meat and alcohol. And he's just looking at her like, he's like, all right, I'm out of here. And then she's like, what are you doing to relieve stress? He's like, eating steak and drinking whiskey.
Well,
It's so funny.
sometimes you just gotta do what you love.
They're like, I haven't seen Dad this mad since Obama got elected. He's just super conservative. Just real man's man, work hard kind of guy. It's so
Oh,
funny.
yeah. I think you like that show.
Yeah, I think I would too.
It's pretty
I
entertaining.
finished Lucifer
Oh, yeah.
a while back, but the last two episodes
He was
pissed
like,
me
what the
off.
fuck?
But it almost seemed like it was too like a flashbacks almost,
Mhm.
and I hope they were.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, that craziness happens, and then all of a sudden there's that work normal. Like,
Yeah, so I think they did say those were like if I think you said it.
yeah, they said bonus
So
episode.
it might be like
Yeah,
before prior.
yeah.
But yeah, like the ending of the actual episode.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why did you end it that way?
Right?
Pissed me off.
Creep 2 is technically a rom-com, a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's not.
The second one is it's a chick there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he doing the same thing? Like,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's just like no spoilers or anything, but like she's like freaked out, but every time he tries to jump scare, she doesn't get scared. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's just driving him crazy. Like, he doesn't know how to handle it. He's like, and then she jump scares him or something, and then yeah, it's so funny.
What is this?
It's called Creep. It's on Netflix. They're really funny. Yeah, like.
So this is a perfect segue into my hard-hitting question for you.
Okay.
And I guess Manuel too. Usually I've been asking you
Denied.
like, fuck, never mind. Okay. Well,
Continue.
okay. Usually I ask you like hard questions, but figured I would do a more lighthearted one. Where did I put it? What to you makes a good movie?
What?
So what to you personally
what
makes a good movie for you?
Ass and titties.
ass, and doo-doo.
No, I don't know.
Like, is it just like... Because, like, usually movies that you recommend me are more like... They're so not like a normal, generic movie.
Yeah, those are real good ones. I think the real weird ones are my favorite. Like, if it's a real wild movie, I'm like, this shit's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I think. Because obviously there's good movies, you know. Die Hard.
Classic Christmas movie.
No, yeah, but, you know, there's good movies.
Because, like, I wanted to ask you this because I watched The Departed for, you know, the nth time a couple days ago. And to me, that's, like, easily one of my favorite movies just because it has every element that you can think of.
Yeah, that's a good one.
On top of it being, like, the first time you watch it, it's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
What?
At least The Departed.
Yeah. That's a real good movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I don't even think which movie that is.
It's got everybody in it.
Yeah, Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Mark Wahlberg,
Jack Nicholson, the black dude from Blackish.
Leonardo DiCaprio's an undercover cop in it.
Oh, I heard that one, but I haven't watched it.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really, really... It has everything that you could want in a movie.
Even dragons?
Possibly.
I doubt that.
What about
Say yes.
What about for you, though? Like, in your eyes, like, what would be the perfect movie?
Dragons.
Dragons? So...
Dragons, race cars.
Dragons and race cars?
I got just the movie for you. What was that one we watched?
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be the perfect movie for you. What was that called?
I don't remember. Because it had everything.
Dude, yeah. You may be thinking you know where the story's gonna go, but you don't.
It was the wildest movie I've ever seen in my life. And
Easily. Like,
I don't even know.
you get like some like 90s punk dudes in this like post-apocalyptic world.
It's kind of like Mad Max.
Yeah, like some Mad Max guys. And then you get like knights
Yeah.
in armor. And then you get like this badass chick. And then at the end she gets in, it was like a brand new Porsche or something.
Yeah. Oh, and there's zombies.
There's zombies.
What?
It's a fucking
The wildest turn of
emotional
events.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy to think is I watched that stone cold sober and was like, what the fuck is going on? And allegedly other people were not stone cold sober.
Yeah, it was wild.
So I could only imagine how that movie was.
It's fucking weird.
Need to figure out what the name of that one was.
What was the other movies we watched that night? Do you remember?
The original Watership Down?
Okay. I haven't seen the original Watership Down. I've just seen the TV show. And I cannot watch that show sober. I gotta be real fucked up to watch Watership Down. Because then I'm watching like, what? Rabbits are fighting? Have you seen the clip from that?
Yeah.
The girl watching it?
It's pretty hardcore.
That's the cutest thing.
What other... We watched that, like, government
Oh, yeah.
movie that was like, meh. Did we watch another one? I think we watched like two more.
Yeah, it was...
We watched Ice Age 2.
Oh, yeah, we watched... Oh, was it the... Yeah, was it the government, the cop one? No. We watched the Ice Age 2. Then we watched the one where the cops and their, like, internet security thing and the guy's torturing people over the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Then the one with... Yeah, they're like a secret task force.
Yeah. That one, I don't really recall that.
That one was
too
real
much.
weird just because they looked weird to me. What's his name looked way too fucking buff.
Yeah.
What the shit? Yeah, weird movies.
super duper weird movies.
Is it a trap in Ice Age?
Damn.
Oh god. The Sid is the first trap. Yeah, I have no idea what Sid is, so. I was trying to think of another movie I watched the other night. That was weird that I watched. I was watching something else and that wasn't Ridiculous 6 and I was laughing my fucking ass off.
I watched Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh really?
Oh man, that one's fucking.
I've seen part of it, but I just can't remember too much of it.
on my phone when I
Well, I forgot that one's in subtitles.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I read the whole thing and it's fucking. That was a weird one. It's good. I just don't know what the underlying message is because it's like this girl's having these like fantasy things, but they aren't real because no one else can see them.
Netflix.
But in her head, it's real.
Let's look at my recently watched.
So I just don't know what. I don't know what they were going for.
Okay. So, oh yeah, I started watching Miami Vice, but I wasn't about it. I was like, this is fucking weird. See Watership Down. These ones, has this happened to you? None of these fucking movies are. It's like dubbed movies.
Oh, there's tons of them now.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I was thinking of watching Diablero, but I started talking Spanish for a second.
Yeah, they're dubbed.
Didn't look that good.
Yeah,
Norseman is actually really, really funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
I watched that. I've only watched a few episodes. From what I've seen, it's really funny. Disjointed, super, super awesome. Especially the people are in it. I would highly recommend that one.
Everyone's talking about a show that just came out today called like, Sex Education or something.
Oh,
I saw it.
Sarah started watching that. We saw like 3 or 4 episodes. It's actually
hilarious.
really funny. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you watch that one, The Maniac, with Jonah Hill and someone else?
No.
Everyone was talking about that one too. Like,
It just looks not my kind of movie.
Yeah.
Hey, speak of, look, watch it again.
The Departed. Hey.
I watched it recently too. Actually, I don't know how recent. I was trying to see what I was watching that I was laughing my ass off at.
The fucking Mummy, probably.
No, maybe it wasn't on Netflix, but man, oh man, was I dying. I guess that's not all my. I wish I could just see recently watched.
Yeah.
I watched Watchmen, and it's very different.
Yeah.
Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. It seems like that movie should be really good, but it's just not.
Yeah.
It'd be a good TV show, like a TV series where they could flush more stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like that movie, like,
That's my recent watch.
you got like 15 characters introduced to you, and then you get this big blue dick, and he's like the god of everything because he can do whatever, and then the rest of the people are like kind of superheroes, kind of just vigilante dudes who beat people up. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, it's mediocre. Do you want your 3 words to start thinking about?
Sure.
Guitar, breadstick, and ice.
Okay.
So he's gonna improv a
You're
story.
making me hungry now.
Get some food.
Breadsticks.
Guitar, breadstick, and water. Is that what it?
Ice.
Ice.
Yeah.
The frozen version.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Bandersnatch? Yeah.
Nope, not yet.
I was meh on it. It's a cool idea. I just stopped caring after I did it for like an hour and a half.
Oh.
Wes just described
Margaritaville?
don't know what that is.
Bandersnatch, which one's that one?
It's the new Black Mirror movie where you pick.
Yeah. Wasn't someone trying to sue them? I just saw
Probably.
an article about someone trying to sue them because of that. The way they did it, where like
Create your own adventure books.
Yeah.
When I meet Dad, yippee-yo-yo. That's a movie. And I'm never going to watch it sober, ever in my life. Just because it is the funniest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life when I'm not.
Which one?
Ridiculous 6.
Oh. Yeah.
And I know it's going to be the worst movie I've ever seen sober.
You never know. It might be real good.
Ridiculous 6?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler one.
Wait. Is that the one with I'm pretty sure I think I know which one you're talking about now.
It's like really dumb, but it's got Adam Sandler.
Oh, dude, no, that's actually really funny.
Okay, good.
It's It's cheesy but funny.
I was gonna say, yeah, I watched
especially the fish part.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's real good.
That's like my favorite part of the whole movie.
See, there's a lot of movies like that too that grow on you, because like one of my favorite comedies that has like some of the worst ratings for a movie is Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh yes,
because it's just so like the first time you watch it you're like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? What is going on? And then you keep watching it and you're like, oh,
I always really liked that one. That was a good movie.
Yeah, disco, yeah. I'm a big fan of that one. He's
movie
fighting
is
that.
pretty funny, sober, coming from a sober perspective of watching twice.
Have you guys seen the new Game of Thrones trailer? Or are you guys avoiding that?
There's one.
I watched it.
There's one that everyone says not to watch because they say it has way too much spoilers in it.
Well, it's probably just the one that got released a couple days ago.
Yeah, because I saw on Reddit, and it said, absolutely do not watch if you don't want spoilers. And I don't know, it was like a 5-minute one, so I don't know if like...
Oh, I don't know. The teaser that came out, it shows Jon, Arya, and Sansa walking down there where they bury all those people in Winterfell and put the statues up.
Yeah.
They're walking down it, and they get to like the end of it, and there's 3 statues, for each of them already built.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, what the fuck? And then they turn around, and Jon Snow and Arya like draw their swords, and you see the ice start creeping towards them.
Oh.
And then that's the end of it. So that kind of strengthens, I think that strengthens my theory, because why would they only show 3 of the Starks when Bran is still alive? So I really think they're going to do Bran either controlling or being the Night King or something.
Yeah.
But
do you think they're going to bring back the mother as lady whatever?
I think they would have already done that, and I think they have already done that for like fans, because weren't you the one showing me where there's scenes where it looks like it's her?
Yeah, like the last couple episodes of when they're all Winterfell together.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was wondering if they're going to, because that's what it looked like on the... Let's see if I can find it. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to see it, but it looked like the picture from the one. It showed like a woman that looked like their mom's stand. It said something. It was like, I think that was part of it, but it said something of the cryptids. Yeah. And then like you just see the screenshot, and it's all the Starks, and in the background you see what looks like their mom, like with a fucked up face and everything. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and from my understanding, like in the book, I haven't read all of them because I don't like how he writes books. Mm-hmm. But there's tons of other details and like one-off shoots of like stuff like Lady Winterfell or Lady Stark coming back. Yeah. But it just would be hard to translate into, a live action thing without like putting in tons of detail. Mm-hmm. That's why the thing that I'm going to be bummed about is I don't think we're going to get anything with the Faceless God dude.
Oh, yeah.
Why can he do that? Who all has he been, and how has he affected the storyline?
Right.
Besides Arya, but I don't think we're going to get those answers.
Mm-mm.
Which, I mean, I guess it's cool to leave stuff up for interpretation, but
no, it's not.
Salty said, I saw this really cool Star Wars fanfic called Solo, a Star Wars story on Netflix. God damn it, Salty. I think Salty said in the books they bring her mom back immediately, if he remembers right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
There's lots of paths they can go. I was actually talking about this to my parents earlier today about Game of Thrones, because like I'm kind of worried. I don't like worry about movies or shows or whatever. Like I just don't care. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they could easily fuck this up and like ruin a whole lot of it.
Yeah, easily.
Because there's just so much. This is the big climax that everyone cares about, and
I just want him to like end it so bad, like not like
shitty, but like fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's
no one expected that, and just gets super pissed off.
Fucking Cersei wins.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna do something wild, like.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. Just what is the question?
Yeah. Like, I think he's gonna kill off almost all the rest of the main characters.
Yeah.
Are all of them gonna die? Like, yeah, that's the only thing I don't know. So.
The Night King just wins and he takes the throne. It's like, oh fuck, now what?
It's like, all right, we'll restart humanity.
It shows like Night King sitting on the throne, and then it goes to white screen. George R. R. Martin just walks out, being all gross and ugly and fat, and he just like looks at the camera. He's like, and then it just ends. Oh fuck!
Did you see the new? I only saw the clip of it from the new Family Guy, of Peter fighting Donald Trump like the chicken. Now he's always been up here.
Yeah.
He's fighting Donald Trump like that.
I think that's this upcoming episode.
Oh,
on
is
Sunday,
it?
Yeah.
I just saw the clip from it of him fighting him.
I watched last week's episode. Oh, maybe it's out already. I don't know. I watched the recent one where it ended, and it was all like, sorry, we're behind on the Trump jokes. Here's a sneak peek of next week's episode, and it's Meg with Trump's daughter and Trump in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And Meg says something. Trump's like, "You got nice tits," and Meg's like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, "No, I'm not talking to you." Like, oh boy, here we go.
The funniest from I don't know if you saw the fight clip, but Trump throws down Obama's thing and starts stomping it, and Peter picks it up, kisses Obama on the head, and picks it back up.
Dang.
Yeah, it's good.
I like the way George R. R. Martin writes because he describes feasting the way I do. That's why I don't like reading his books. I don't need 3 pages on what's on the table, George.
God. They're still making that Lord of the Rings show, aren't they?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know who they've casted for it. I know what's his name that plays Gandalf said he really wants to.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm all down for Lord of the Rings show.
Who's doing that?
I think Peter Jackson.
let's see.
So like the dude who did all of them.
Right, but where?
A young Aragorn?
If it's a TV show, it has to be somewhere.
Oh, like when in the story?
Well, it says a young...
Sorry, not when in the story. Who would be, I don't know the right word, Netflix or Amazon? Or
I think it's Amazon.
Amazon?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
14 years, let's see. Well, it said they're casting for a young Aragorn, so...
Oh, so it's going to be... Alright.
A prequel. Focus on... Oh, yeah.
Who's Aragorn?
The main guy.
That guy?
Yeah.
The main dude in Lord of the Rings, the King. Return of the King.
Oh.
Strider.
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings in a while.
Damn, dude, you gotta buy those extended editions and just watch all of them. It's like 13 hours.
Worth.
It's really good. Makes you feel really good. Or you could step your game up and buy that
Amazon.
and the extended Hobbits and watch all of them, and it's like a day and a half.
Right?
I haven't done that. I'm not that committed.
I've seen all the extendeds because
I'm down to do it with you guys one of these days.
He's like, we only gotta watch the extended.
I'm down.
Straight though, that'd be tough.
Be a lot of
we can try.
Definitely need some stretch breaks in between there.
Yeah.
It's time to do aerobics.
I think I need some smoking breaks.
Yeah.
Right out with me.
Oops, I didn't even cook that, but okay.
Damn, look at him, look all luscious with his hair.
Right?
What about the Star Wars show? How's that?
Who knows, man?
What's more likely, this or that?
I think the Lord of the Rings right now.
Is there like a time, like year or nothing, anything like that?
I don't even know if they've started filming. But we did find out that Star Wars video game actually didn't get canceled.
Oh, really?
So...
Oh. They're just being real sneaky?
I guess. Because from the last thing that we heard when we were looking stuff up, like, they canceled all the Star Wars games. And there was supposed to be like a couple like big Star Wars games. But then I guess they didn't.
So, bounty hunters. One of the bounty hunters hired to hunt down... Oh, so it's about him?
No. It's
IG-88.
Yeah, they were talking
that
about
guy,
the coffee machine.
Yeah.
Doing based off of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But the dumb part is...
It's a TV series?
The Mandalorian stuff that they're doing isn't the Mandalorian Wars, which people know about.
Which is set to launch in 2019.
Oh, well, I mean... Slap my dick and call me Sally. I'm in. Oh, that's right. Those fucking little dicks.
What?
Disney's coming out with their own streaming service. So I bet that's going to be their first major one. Because you know
Just
everyone
to bring in, yep.
I'll pay $10 a month, right? That day, for sure. And you, like, if they put all the Disney movies on there too, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But will it be like Netflix where they put the whole season, or just episode by episode every week?
I hope it's like Netflix. I think all these other companies are starting to realize people love the ability just to sit down and watch how much they want.
Binge watch.
Yeah.
It's The Mandalorian, of course. Untitled. What is this?
So that's the movie they were going to do. That follows the fucking... Which no one asked for, no one cares. The dude who's in Rogue One.
Oh, him?
That's the guy from Narcos.
Why, yeah. Why the hell
Yeah, I don't really
do
care about
that?
that.
Who gives a shit about this fucking guy?
I do, because he's Hispanic, okay?
Good point, good point.
Wait,
Obviously,
didn't you
right.
mention something like one of the guys had to learn Spanish?
Oh, he
because
knew
had
he wasn't from Mexico, so I think he had where's he from? Oh, we can probably look it up. Let's see. Marcos, Mexico. Actor not from Mexico. Yeah, because he had to relearn. Oh, is it him then? Let's see, stars. No, that can't be.
Diego Luna.
You could always just do cast, and it might show names.
Let's
and then
do-
go from there.
Luna. Let's see where he's from. Is he from? Oh, so he's from Mexico. One of them's not.
Toluca.
So let's see what else. It was a Michael Pena? No, probably not. Is he the one that plays? What's his name?
Felix.
Who plays?
Miguel.
Fix It Felix? Okay.
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
Felix.
Hmm.
The guy that first formed it's not Jalisco, it's I think Guadalajara
Who
cartel.
plays Pablo in it?
Pablo Escobar, that's from the other Narcos.
I think I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, one of them's he's from a different. He's not from Mexico, so he was relearning the Mexican lingo.
Spacey. Spacey can.
So Clone Wars. So they're making a Clone Wars.
More?
Is it a TV show or I don't know?
Oh yeah, they're finishing up the Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh look, 12 episode season set to air on Disney streaming service. So they're just
Bullshit.
building up to put on their own service.
Well, and if you've noticed, all the Marvel stuff have been canceled on whatchamacallit,
On what?
like Netflix, like Luke Cage. And
Isn't he the one that made the shitty
yeah.
one? Or not the shitty one, but
yes,
and so he's getting his own spin-off trilogy too. Why?
couldn't tell you. Now that is something that makes my dick hard because
So
I heard
the
about that.
Game of Thrones creators are making a Star Wars. That'd be so fucking good.
It's gonna be depressing.
Yeah, but
People are
good.
gonna die.
Yeah.
I want them to make a movie about Obi-Wan being on Tatooine, and it's just miserable.
Right? That looks awful.
That's some goofy.
I also like the
animation.
animation. I've already seen that. Oh, so these are already out. Huh. Let's look up about the Star Wars games, because I'm curious. Stra. To new Stra! Oh. Which one was it?
I don't remember. I think
Was
it's
it
the Fallen
Holiday?
Order.
2019? Which company, one of the gaming companies, was it Ubisoft or one of them, just got left, fuck. Was it Bethesda or something? They split? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
One of the two of the big, or Activision, I think, and someone else.
Well, Activision was with Blizzard.
With Blizzard and with someone else too. It was Activision, but one of the companies left them. I can't remember.
Probably smart.
And then they're like, Blizzard should do it now too. They're like, well, they're the same thing now. So.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm curious which one this looks like.
It'd be cool if we get another Force Unleashed game because
Yeah,
I
it
actually
would.
really like those ones.
I played a little bit of that. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, Bungie, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, and they picked up the new Destiny
Yeah.
rights or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They need to pick up fucking Halo rights and bring us a good Halo.
Right? That's ever since we got the team up, Bungie hasn't made a good fucking... they made it okay, but like...
No, they need to be like, alright guys.
Halo 3.2.
Yeah. Everything that's been made after Halo 3 is now no longer canon. Here's the actual story.
James T. Solo, Captain of the... God damn it.
I think that was Buzz Lightyear, you idiot. God. Come on now.
James T. Solo, Captain of the USS Millennium Valerian.
Oh, he was actually trolling. I thought.
Yeah.
Never mind, Salty. I was.
He
trying
mixed
to be
all
rude.
the fucking space folks together.
He got you good.
Yeah, he did. Fuck.
Let's look on, just for a sec. There was a good today I learned. So, what was it? So there was an area that was owned by the Dutch, and they built a wall around it to protect it. It was in America when this country was first getting settled, and they were building a wall around it, or they built a wall to keep themselves out, but then the British came and took them by sea. And then, I didn't know this, and then took them by sea, and that area is now called New York, and they destroyed the wall, and then they built the city, obviously, and they built this street where that wall was, and it's now called Wall Street. I was like, I didn't know that. Like, I was like, that's a cool history about New York. Like,
Yeah, that is way cool. I didn't know that.
the reason
either.
it's called Wall Street is because that's the street the wall was on.
Damn.
It was cool, and I was like, damn, like, learning things every day. Always like Florida mans, they're always good.
Finds boa constructor under car hood.
Yeah.
What are you doing in there, car? What are you doing in there, boa?
Howdy, fella. I bet she's gonna complain to the manager.
Oh, definitely. She already
What was
has.
Oh, no, he says I like to speak to the manager and the police.
I like to speak to the police manager.
Oh, God.
I don't think that's real. That's the dude from Friday.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Okay, let's look up. I just wanted to see. Today I learned. Can I just see the category? How do I look at my categories? I don't remember.
Look at that car.
Oh, here we go. What?
So look at that car.
227, bitch!
Get what?
Not too much. I wish I had more. Today I learned, there it is. Heroin was mass-produced by the pharmaceutical company Bayer in 1897. From 1898 to 1910, heroin was marked as non-addictive morphine substitute and cough medicine for children.
Damn.
See, it's not that bad. They gave it to children.
I mean, in that's the, what are they? The new movie with Sherlock with the stepbrother guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make fun of that.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily that, but it's just like offer heroin a lot.
Wonderful.
I learned that Finding Nemo was scientifically accurate. Nemo's dad would have just changed sex and mated with his son. Yeah, did you know that? Clownfish, if there's two males, they are born with both sex organs, so if there's one, they'll just switch sexes to mate.
There's apparently a fish that switches.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
the
clownfish.
clownfish.
No,
So-
but another fish that reminded me. But I'm watching it on Netflix. It was like that Planet Earth
yeah.
or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
where it's like if it's like the only. If there was no males or something, it changes. No. A female, after so long, like buries itself, or hides itself in the dark, and it mutates into a female.
And can't it like
Or,
get itself
sorry, male.
pregnant almost too?
Huh?
Isn't there one that can get itself pregnant basically to reproduce? I don't remember.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so funny. Fucking Marlin, you would have fucked Nemo? Oh. Like a shit. Ooh, puppy. Today I learned while playing fetch with dogs, if you throw the ball into the water, the dog will run along the beach a while before jumping, a technique to minimize retrieval time since they're faster on land. Oh, so dogs are smart is what you're saying.
Right?
No way, I've seen dogs just woo!
Right?
Oh, Lord. Today I learned Samuel L. Jackson was a functional crack addict for 15 years.
Not surprised.
I love crack, motherfucker! Nearly all castles depicted in Monty Python and the Holy Grail are actually Doan Castle from different angles. Oh, so it's all the same castle?
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious, yeah. Huh.
One seaman trying to just run said.
What?
Oh, go up one? Says today I learned the attack on Pearl Harbor was so unexpected that as the bombing began, one seaman turned to his friend and said, "This is the best damn drill the Army has ever put on."
Damn!
And he just thought it was a fucking drill.
Little did they know. So they're probably just gonna get less and less cool. So, alright. This was your cool ones of that. I just wanted to check out. Good old Reddit.
You went way too fast. I was like, ooh, wait.
What? Brock from Pokemon finally got a girlfriend after 20 years of being single?
Yeah, I saw that.
Good on him. He's been giving it his all.
Yeah, he's been putting the hardest game in for
Yeah.
so long. And now he's finally reaping the benefits.
Good for him. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Konami, damn. Because they make all the goddamn slot machines.
Right? I saw some pretty good stuff in gaming today. That's pretty cool, room. I think you can just buy those stickers.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means. Do you? It's okay. Like, I don't know if there's something I don't understand about it.
Yeah, because he says someone help and someone is the name of the person who joined.
I didn't even notice that part of it. I was like, what am I missing about this?
Oh my god, my prayers were answered.
69,000 people.
Oh, I get it now. I was like, I read the blue one, like, someone wants to help, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
Yeah.
Funny.
I was just a dumb idiot. This is my favorite, though. This guy's senior pictures in high school.
Damn. He didn't save pussy for any of his friends.
One small step. I learned that the anglerfish males are very small, basically parasites on female anglers. Huh. Look up male anglerfish. Okay. Ooh. What?
Do male anglerfish compared to female, so we get an idea.
Is this what they look like? Oh. Okay, so he's the little fella on there. Come here, baby.
You about to catch this big dick.
Oh yeah, so there's cute little boys on there. He's right along.
Going on an adventure.
Say, come here, baby. Oh yeah. Just fucking that thing. This cute little
little tadpole fella.
Hello. That's so funny.
Do you want to put us in the just chatting for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
See if we get any boyos.
Indeed.
Any boyos coming in?
P2. Ah, that's I was gonna wear my Heelys today just so I could roll back and forth. I gotta start wearing them so people think because they're starting to come back real heavy right now. I keep seeing,
Yeah.
But I keep seeing people like post stuff. Got my new Heelys. I'm like, bitch, that was years ago.
I have a pair of Heelys in my attic somewhere.
I was gonna say,
but they're not the cool looking Heelys. They're the ones that you have to like tap your heels together like fucking.
The wheels pop out.
Yeah.
I had some of those too. I want to get like light up wheels to put in my Heelys so I can fucking really get the ladies.
Damn right.
So then I can just do
right,
and then they're flashing and I go the dab and roll away.
Dab.
Hello, ladies.
Ladies.
I just roll up. Hello. Start Millie rocking on them.
Then you really,
ooh.
Then you really hide it in your sock.
Ooh. Pull out a bag of crack cocaine. Hello. That's how you really get them. Heelys, light up Heelys and crack cocaine.
Do you have stories, or is that just on specific days?
Oh, I got some stories. I've just been waiting. I've been waiting for some viewers to come in so I can serenade them with spooky stuff and sex stories.
What are the titles? Do you have titles?
I'll tell you what we got tonight, baby boy. So for paranormal stuff, I found an Ask Reddit. So you can go on Reddit and ask just the general audience questions. So this person asked, what's the creepiest or most paranormal thing that's ever happened to you? And I got the 2 top rated responses to that. For UFO stuff, I have the article talking about the radio signal, the thing that's going like super viral, that we're getting radio signals. So I'll read.
I saw that.
Yeah. I'll read that. I have a Reddit no sleep called A Shattered Life. It's the top Reddit no sleep story. Don't know anything about it. Didn't read it. Damn, high kicks are still on point.
That hurt.
Forrest gonna do the improv.
Oh shit, guitar. Ice. What's the other one?
Breadstick.
Breadstick. Yeah.
You're making me hungry.
I have more New World Order stuff. Conspiracy.
I haven't even thought of a story, so I'm just gonna roll with it as it comes when I'm ready.
More of the murder mystery from the Salem prison, and then sex shop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to hear first? We'll just jump right into one.
What were the first 2 you mentioned?
The Ask Reddit about the paranormal experiences, or did I say the New World Order, or the Reddit No Sleep?
The Reddit No Sleep.
The Reddit No Sleep one's a little longer. The ghost story ones are a little shorter.
Do the ghost stories.
Okay. So I was telling him, I went on to Ask Reddit, and one of the top ones is, what's the creepiest or most paranormal thing that's ever happened to you?
Yeah.
So I got the 2 top responses, most rated responses.
Okay, cool.
So
Can I have some of that, Manuel?
Huh?
Can I have some of that?
Yeah.
This one's from Briar Patch Kid. It's the most top rated comment on the question.
Before you start, I think you need to quench your thirst a little.
I thought you were going to say fix your beard. I was like, is there something
Nah, it's always on point.
And then we'll go with a little bit of...
No surprises this time? Yeah.
Drink like a man. That works.
I thought you were just downing it super fast.
I thought I was actually going to, and then it like came back out of my throat.
That usually happens.
Yeah.
Unexperienced.
Yeah.
It's okay.
My throat game's not on par yet, Manuel. One of these days.
If you want to know how to do it right, you gotta watch the show that you mentioned about sex something.
Oh, that sex education one?
Yes. Like one of the episodes teaches you how to do that.
We're talking about sucking dick while Forrest is dying.
Choking on something.
All right, so like I said, the top response is from Briar Patch Kid. This is how it starts. Creepy for me. I was having a tense conversation with someone that I was close to years ago. The conversation quickly de-evolved into passive-aggressive fight that ended with the other person getting in the car and driving away. As I started heading back inside, the other person came back, got out of the car, and started our conversation again. The tone of voice was totally different, and the stance was different, and the feeling in the air was completely off. I don't know how else to explain it. As the conversation progressed, the other person started saying some nasty and mean things that were completely out of character. I said, "This isn't like you, person." Oh, this is the person response. They said, "What makes you think that I'm person?" This isn't like you, person?
So they're saying it's person instead of their names. Like, this isn't like you, Rick.
Oh, okay.
What makes you think this is Rick?
Okay. They said, "What makes you think that I'm person?" I remember continuing the conversation and talking to the person for a long time.
You gotta make up a name.
Okay.
Wesley.
Okay, but I don't remember anything specific. I do remember becoming more and more alarmed and knowing something wasn't right. Finally, I told the Billy Bob to go home. They complied and left. I went back inside and started telling my sibling about the situation when the doorbell rang. Maybe 2-3 minutes had passed. It was Billy Bob coming back to apologize for the original fight. They had been driving around town for a long time and didn't want to go home leaving things unresolved. I asked why they said some of the things at the last conversation, and they looked at me like I was crazy. They had no idea what I was talking about. Totally could have been lying, but that whole situation just felt dark. Scared the hell out of me.
So someone that looked, or that they thought was them, came back and was chatting, but it wasn't them?
Right, or like his personality switched.
I think I just missed the first part. I got confused on what he was saying.
So
they were fighting with someone. They're Billy Bob.
Personally?
Yeah, so he was having a conversation with someone. So Briar Patch was talking to Billy Bob. They started arguing, it sounds like. Billy Bob got in his car and left and came back and was acting like a completely different person.
And then they came back for a third time and then
apologized for...
Like the second conversation never happened.
Yeah.
So the person that was being mean came back and
Yeah.
Yeah, and said like
this, the person that said, I'm not...
Yeah.
So, or who do you think...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
It's kind of a weird thing to experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's paranormal, but just kind of a... I don't know, I think... I've known people who...
Oh, like the Split movie.
Kinda. I don't know if it's actually like a split personality, but I know people who can't control their anger to a point where they'll say shit and they don't remember saying it because their emotions are so high they'll just say whatever comes to mind first.
I've had that.
And then later you're talking to them like, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, I've had situations like that. Not to that extreme, but...
Yeah. So the other post is from Neb Nodlu. The real ghost story is the ghost dick that's choking Forrest.
It got me good.
So, he says, I was a manager of computer repair for a retailer a couple years ago. We had a client's computer in the back running various malware and virus scans. I was doing morning paperwork in the back near the computer. The PC had its screensaver on, displaying random photos from the My Pictures folder. Various family members, children's birthday parties, the usual stuff. Then from of my eye... Don't know what he's trying to say.
Corner of my eye, probably.
Yeah. Corner of my eye. I swear to God, I saw a picture of a woman from the shoulders up with her throat cut.
Huh.
As soon as I realized what I was making out, I directed my full attention, and it was back to photos of a car show. As the day went on, though, this guy didn't proofread like I normally don't.
Yeah, right.
As the day went on, I thought nothing of it. So, as the day went on, I thought nothing of it and proceeded to continue my work until I was bringing another customer's PC to the back to work on. And again, from my peripheral, I could have sworn I saw a bloody body inbound in a trunk of a car. At that moment, I began to freak out. I grabbed one of the employees, explained to him the situation. We then sat for 10 minutes and watched a screensaver. It is against company policy to search through the client's personal files without absolute just cause. When we proceeded to see a photo, two bodies in a shallow grave out in the woods and another photo of a severed hand down in the kitchen drawer, I then went and got the general manager and informed him of the situation, had him view the screensaver. We then felt that I would be in everyone's best interest to contact law enforcement. And about 15 minutes later, owner of the computer and another gentleman showed up. I proceeded to tell him that his computer is not ready and it will be a while. He then informs me that he was called there because someone reported there was some photographs of a grisly murder that we had found. I showed him his computer, and then his partner then begins to laugh at him. Apparently he went against police policy and took some of his work home with him, and I never noticed his work photos were being used as screensaver.
Oh, so they were just flashing?
Yeah. And then what is TLDR?
TLDR?
Yeah.
I always forget. It's not today. TLDR. I always forget.
So anyways, it says TLDR, a detective unknowingly brings me his computer filled with gory homicide pictures that get mixed in with his screensaver. I saw myself thinking I'm dealing with a
Too
murder.
long didn't read. Oh,
so it's like the summary of it.
yeah.
That would be pretty freaky experience.
Unless they just go in there.
Yeah.
Just to make up that.
But neither of those are paranormal. So I'll skim through some of these, but I don't like to read all of them because I like to also get like the first experience when we're reading them.
Although I like that second story a lot.
It'd be cool to, well, I don't know, cool is the right word, but it'd be pretty wild if you're sitting there and you're like, is that a fucking dead body?
You look over and it's nothing.
Yeah. I'm going crazy.
All you do is get the call from some random person. It's like, hey, we have a computer here with all these pictures. And then they search it or talk to the policeman that are there. It's like, who took pictures?
Right.
Damn. I'll be like, this is the best day of work ever.
Right.
I would be scrolling through them photos.
Search interesting cop stories.
That would be a good one because there's probably tons of them. I think that one of the top asked Reddits is what's the craziest, it's for military people, what's the craziest thing that you've ever seen or had to do? That one's probably got some.
There's some gnarly stuff in it.
Yeah. So this story is pretty long. It's the top Reddit no sleep from user M59Gar. I can read that one now if you guys want.
Yeah, I'm down.
Keeps me awake.
Pretty long, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. Hopefully there's no...
Hopefully it's not fucked up.
Hopefully there's no spelling bullshit like the other one. I don't know when you're going to read this, but I can tell you when it started. I was out for a walk alone in the woods when the entity came for me. It was beyond a blur. It was, for a lack of a better term, absence of meaning. Where it hid, there were no trees. Where it crept closer, there were no grass. Through the arc, it leapt at me. There was no breeze of motion. There was no air at all. As it struck, I felt the distinct sensation of claws puncturing me somewhere unseen. Somewhere I'd never felt before. My hands and arms and legs and torso seemed fine and I wasn't bleeding, but I knew I'd been injured somehow. As I fearfully ran back home, I could tell that I was less. I was vaguely tired and it was hard to focus at times. The solution at the early stage was easy. A big cup of coffee helped me feel normal again. For a while, that subtle drain on my spirit became lost in the ebb and flow of caffeine in my system. You could say my life began that week, actually, because that was when I met Mar. She and I got along great, though to be honest, I'm pretty sure I fell in love with her over the phone before we even met.
Hello, Vape God.
What up, Vape God? That one was for you. Take it home. Take that one home with you, sweetie. I'm not a Vape God. It was almost as if the strong emotions of the first week made the entity fight back. It was still with me, latched on to some invisible part of my being. The first few incidents were minor, and I hardly worried about them. The color of our neighbor's car changed from dark blue to black one morning, and I stared at it before shaking my head and shrugging off the difference. 2 days later, at work, a coworker's name changed from Fred to Dan.
What?
I carefully asked around, but everyone said that his name had always been Dan. I figured I'd just been mistaken. Then, as ridiculous as this sounds, I was peeing in my bathroom at home when I suddenly found myself on a random street. I was still in my pajamas, pants down, and urinating.
What the fuck?
But now in full view of a dozen people at a bus stop, horrified, I pulled up my clothes and ran before someone called the cops. I did manage to get home, but the experience forced me to admit that I was still in danger. The entity was doing something to me, and I didn't understand how to fight back. Mar showed up that evening, but she had her own key. Hey, I asked her with confusion, how'd you get a key? She just laughed. You're cute. Are you sure you're okay with this? She opened the door and entered a room full of boxes. I know living together is a big step, especially when we've only been dating 3 months. Living together? I literally just met her the week before. Thing was, my mother had always called me a smart cookie for a reason. I knew when to shut my yap instead of causing a scene.
Bitch, you what?
I told her everything was fine, and then I went straight to my room and began investigating. My things were just as I had left them, with no sign of a 3-month gap in habitation. But I did find something out of the ordinary, the date. I shriveled angrily as I processed the truth. The entity had eaten 3 months of my life. What the hell was I facing? What kind of creature could consume pieces of one's soul like that?
The female.
I missed the most exciting part of a new relationship. I know what that means.
Yeah, the best part. God.
This is a hell of a Facebook post. I missed the most exciting part of a new relationship. I would never understand any shared stories or in-jokes from the period. Something absurdly precious had been taken from me, and I was furious. That fury helped...
Why, God?
Right? That fury helped suppress the entity. I never... that's a weird word. I never used alcohol. I drank coffee religiously. I checked the date every time I woke up. For 3 years, I managed to live each day while observing nothing more than minor alterations. A social fact here and there, someone's job, how many kids they had, that sort of thing. The layout of nearby streets, the time of my favorite television show aired, that kind of thing. So I think he's saying that those things would change. I know a... What chair?
Hocom? Is that what this is?
Hocum chair?
An Amazon gaming chair?
Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, favorite television shows, what time they aired, and that kind of thing. Those were all different for him. Always those changes reminded me the creature still had his claws sunk into my spirit. Not once in 3 years did I ever let myself zone out. One day I grew careless. I let myself get really into the season finale of my favorite show. It was gripping, a fantastic story. Right at the height of the action, a young boy came up to my lounger and shook my arm. Surprised, I asked, "Who are you? How did you get here?" He laughed and smiled brightly. "Silly, Daddy." My heart sank in my chest. I knew immediately what had happened. After a few masked questions, I discovered that he was my 2-year-old son, or 2 years old, and that he was my son. The agony and the heartache filling my chest was nearly unbearable. Not only had I missed the birth of my son...
Does this click?
Right? I would never see or know the first years of his life. Mara and I had obviously gotten married and started a family in the time I'd lost. I had no idea what joys or pains those years contained. It was snowing outside. Holding my sudden son in my lap, I sat and watched the flakes fall outside. What kind of life was this going to be if slips in concentration could cost me years? I had to get help. The church had no idea what to do. Typical. Sorry, that was me. The priest didn't believe me and told me I had health issues rather than some sort of possession. The doctors didn't have any clue. Nothing showed up on all their scans and tests, but they happily took my money in return for nothing. By the time I ran out of options, I decided to tell Mar. There was no way to know what this all looked like from her side. What I was like when I wasn't there. Did I still take our son to school? Did I still do my job? Clearly I did, because she seemed to be none the wiser. But I still had a horrible feeling that something had been missing in her life when I wasn't actually home inside my own head. But the night I set up a nice dinner in preparation, she arrived not by unlocking the front door, but by knocking on it. I answered and found that she was in a nice dress. Ooh. Damn. She was happily surprised by the settings on the table. A fancy dinner for a second date? I knew you were sweet on me.
Ooh, he was going back in time?
Damn. This poor guy. Thank the Lord I knew when to keep my mouth shut. If I'd gone about being married and having a son, she might have run the hills. Instead, I took her coat and sat down for our second date. Fuck.
No wonder they're... Damn. He's causing it.
Yeah. Though carefully crafted question, I managed to deduce the truth. This really was our second date. She saw relief and happiness in me, but interpreted that as dating jitters. Oh, yeah, she interpreted it as dating jitters. I was just excited to realize that the entity wasn't necessarily eating whole portions of my life. The symptoms, as I was beginning to understand them, were more like the consequences of a shattered soul. The creature had wounded me, broken me into pieces. Perhaps I was to live my life out of order. But at least I would actually get to live it.
That'd be wild.
That would be wild. And so it went for a few years. From my perspective, while minor changes in politics or geography would happen daily, major shifts in my mental location only happened every couple months. When I found myself in a new place and time in my life, I just shut up and listened, making sure to get the lay of the land before doing anything to avoid making mistakes. On the farthest flung leap yet, I met my 6-year-old grandson, and I asked him when he wanted to be when he grew up. He said, writer. I told him that was a fine idea. Then I was back in month 2 of my relationship with Mar, and I had the best night with her on the riverfront. When I say the best, I mean the best.
Oh, we got some pussy!
Knowing how special she would become to me, I asked her to move in. I got to live through what I'd missed the first go-around. And I came to understand that I was never mentally absent. I would always be there eventually. When we were moving her boxes in, she stopped for a moment and said she marveled at my great love, as if I'd known her for a lifetime and never once doubted she was the one.
He's like, bitch, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I'm just going along with the ride.
Right? That was the first time I truly laughed freely and wholeheartedly since the entity had wounded me. She was right about my love for her, but for exactly the reason she's considered a silly romantic analogy. I had known her my whole life, and I'd come to terms with my situation and found peace with it. It wasn't so bad to have sneak peeks at all the best parts ahead. But of course I wouldn't be writing this if I hadn't gotten worse. The entity was still with me. It had not wounded me and departed like I'd wanted to believe. The closest I can describe my growing understanding was that the creature had burrowed deeper into my psyche, fracturing into smaller pieces. Instead of months between major shifts, I began having only weeks. Once I noticed that trend, I feared my ultimate fate would be to jump between times in my life, heartbeat by heartbeat, forever confused, forever lost. Only an instant in which time meant I would never be able to speak with anyone else, never be able to hold a conversation, never express or receive love.
He just keeps jumping.
He's just constantly screaming.
Screaming forever just because it's going back and... Dad hasn't stopped screaming in years.
Damn, I think this gets fucked up. Like, sad. As the true depth of the fear came upon me, I sat in an older version of me and watched the snow falling outside. That was the one constant in my life. The weather didn't care who I was or what pains I had to face. Nature was always there. The falling snow was always like a little hook and kept me in place. The pure emotional peace it brought me was like... excuse me. Was like a... I don't know what that word is. Panic sea?
Big dick energy?
It was like a band-aid on my mental wounds. Never yet shifted while watching the pattern of falling white and thinking of the times I'd gone sledding or built a snow fort as a child. A teenager touched my arm. Grandpa? He startled me out of my thought, so I was less careful than usual. Who are you? He half grinned as if he's not sure whether I was joking. Handing me a stack of papers, he said, "It's my first attempt at a novel. Did you read it and tell me what you think?" Of course. Pursuing that dream of being a writer, I see. You burn bright red. Trying to, anyway. All right, run off. I'll read that.
Get out of here, little...
little dick boy.
Yeah.
I'll read this right now.
You little scamp.
The words were blurry, and annoyed I looked for glasses I probably had for reading. Being old was terrible, and I wanted to leap back into a younger year, but not before I read this book. I found my glasses in the sweater pocket and began leafing through. Mar puttered in and out of the living room, still beautiful, but I had to focus. I didn't know how much time I would have there. It seemed that we had relatives over. Was it Christmas? A pair of adults had a couple kids I
what
didn't
day
recognize.
is it, bitch?
They trompled through the hallway, and I saw my son, now adult, walk by with his wife on the way out the door. As a group, the extended family began sledding outside. Finally, I finished reading the story, and I called out for my grandson. He rushed down the stairs and into the room. How was it? Complete fucking shit, you idiot. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. He says, well, it's terrible, I told him truthfully, but it's terrible for all the right reasons. You're still a young man, so your characters behave like young people. But the structure of the story itself is very solid. I paused. I didn't expect it to turn out to be a horror story. He nodded. It's a reflection of the times. Um, I don't know what that word is. It's a reflection of the times and for the future, and to see that the future is dismal, not hopeful like they used to be. You're far too young to be aware like that, I told him. An idea occurred to me. If you're into horror, do you know anything about strange creatures? Sure, I read everything I can. I love it. Warily, I scan... Warily? I don't know what word that is either. This guy's using big fucking words, guys.
Warily?
Yeah, I guess.
As in worried.
Yeah. I scanned the entrances to the living room. Everyone was busy outside. For the first time, I opened up to someone in my life about what I was experiencing in hushed tones. I told him about my fragmented consciousness. For a teenager, he took it well. You're serious? Yes. He donned the determined look of a grown man accepting a quest. I'll look into it, see what I can find out. You should start writing down everything you experience, build some data. Maybe we can map your psychic wound.
He's like, well, I'll see when I see you again, Grandpa.
Wow.
His grandson. We're about to disappear. Wow.
He said, wow, sounds like a plan. I was surprised that it made sense. I hadn't expected him to have a serious response, but how will I get all the notes in one place? Let's come up with somewhere for you to leave them, he said, frowning with thought. Then I'll get them, and we can trace the path you're taking through your own life, see if there's a pattern. For the first time since the situation had gotten worse, I felt hope again. How about under the stairs? Nobody ever goes under there. Sure. He turned and left the living room. I peered after him. I heard him banging around near the stairs.
To go to your room and do that, grandson. Banging around in the living room.
I'm beating her meat in here. Grandkids.
Sick. Oh. Thanks, dude.
Finally, he returned with a box, laid it on the carpet, and opened it to reveal a bursting stack of papers. He exclaimed, "Holy crap!" But of course, being a teenager, he didn't really say crap. Taken aback, I blinked rapidly, forgiving his cursing because of the shock. Did I write those? He looked at me with wonder. Yeah, or you will. You still have to write them and put them under the stairs after this. He gazed back down at the papers. They covered the box, so you probably shouldn't see what they say. That could get weird. That much I understood, right? He gulped. There are like 50 boxes under there, all filled with this.
Damn.
Filled up like this. Deciphering these will take a very long time. His tone dropped to deadly seriousness. But I will save you, Grandpa, because I don't think anyone else can.
Thanks, grandson.
Tears flowed down my cheeks then, and I couldn't help but sob once or twice. I hadn't realized how lonely I'd become in my shifting prison of awareness until I finally had someone who understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
What's your name again? Thanks, old fella.
Thanks, Gordon.
Yeah.
And then I was young again, and at work on a random Tuesday. Once the sadness and relief faded, anger and determination replaced them. After I finished my work, I grabbed some papers and began writing. While the weeks shifted around me, while those weeks became days and then hours, I wrote every single spare moment about when and where I thought I was. I put them under the stairs, out of order. My first box was actually the 13th. My last box was the 1st. Once I had over 50 boxes written from my perspective, and once my shifting became a matter of minutes, I knew it was up to my grandson to take it from there. I put my head down and stopped looking. I couldn't stand the river of changing awareness any longer. Names and places and dates and jobs and colors and people were all wrong and different. I'd never been older. I sat watching the snowfall. A man of at least 30 that I vaguely recognized entered the room. Come on, I think I finally figured it out. I was so frail and moving was painful. Are you him? Are you my grandson? Yes, he took me to a room filled with strange equipment and sat me in a rubber chair facing a large mirror twice the height of a man. The pattern finally revealed itself. How long have you worked on this? I asked him. Tell me you didn't miss your whole life like I'm missing mine. His expression was both stone cold and furiously resolved. It'll be worth it. He brought 2 thin metal rods close to my arm and then nodded and just fucking kills him. Exactly, Phil. Reading some Reddit. It'll be worth it, blah, 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 blah.
2 metal rods.
Oh, wait. His expression was both stone cold and fiercely. It'll be worth it. He brought 2 thin metal rods to my arm and then nodded into the mirror. Look, the shock is carefully calibrated. The electric zap from the device was startling, but not painful. In the mirror, I saw a rapid arching light silhouetted appear above my head and shoulder. The electricity moved through the creature like a wave, briefly revealing the terrible nature of what was happening to me. A bulging, leech-like moth was wrapped around the back of my head, coming down to my eyebrows and touching each ear, and its slug-like body ran over my shoulder and into my very soul. It was a parasite, and it was feeding on my mind. My now adult grandson held my hand as I took in the horror. After a moment, he asked, removing it is going to hurt very badly. Are you up for this?
And if he removes it,
he's gonna be fucking
holy
dead.
Shit.
Yeah. Fearful, I asked, is Mar here? His face softened. No, not for a few years now.
Damn.
I could tell from his reaction what had happened, but I didn't want it to be true. How? We have this conversation a lot, he responded. Are you sure you want to know? It never makes you feel better.
Oh,
Tears
shit.
brimmed in my eyes, and I don't care if it hurts or if I die. I don't want to stay in a time where she's not alive. He made a sympathetic noise of understanding and then returned to his machine, took several wires, diodes, and other bits of technology to my limbs and forehead. While he did so, he talked. I've worked for 2 decades to figure this out, and I've had a ton of help from other researchers of the oculate. This parasite doesn't technically exist in our plane. It's one of the lesser spawns of... Those are just characters.
Yeah.
It's just... of... And it feeds on the plexus of mind, soul, and quantum consciousness reality. When details like names and colors of objects changed, you weren't going crazy. The web of your existence was merely losing strands, and the creature ate its way through you.
Shit.
I didn't fully understand. I looked up in confusion as he placed a circuit of electronics like a crown on my head, an exact line where the parasite moth was ringed me. Whatever those characters are.
Yeah.
He paused his work and grew pale. I forgot that you wouldn't know. You're lucky. Believe me. After a deep breath, he began moving again and placed his fingers near a few switches. Ready? This is carefully tuned to make your nervous system extremely unappetizing to the parasite, but it's basically electroshock therapy. I could still see Mars smile. Even though she was dead, I'd just been with her moments ago. Do it. The click of the switch echoed in my ears, and I almost laughed at how mild the electricity was. It didn't feel like anything, at least at first. Then I saw the mirror shaking, and my body within the image convulsing. Oh no, it did hurt. Nothing had ever been more painful. It was just so excruciating that my mind hadn't been able to immediately process it. As my vision shook and fire burned in every nerve in my body, I could see the reflection trembling. Light silhouette of the parasite on my head as it withered in agony equal to mine. It had claws, 6 clawed lizard-like limbs under its leech-like body, and it cut into me in an attempt to stay latched on. The electricity made my memories flare. Mar's smile was foremost, lit brightly in front of a warm fire as the snow fell past the window beyond her. The edges of the memory began lighting up, and I realized that my life was one conscious stretch of experience. It was only the awareness of it that had been fragmented by the feasting evil on my back. I never managed to be there for the birth of my son. I jumped around a dozen times, but never actually lived it. For the first time, I got to hold Mar's hand and be there for her. No, the moment had shifted seamlessly into holding her hand as she lay in the hospital bed for a very different reason. Not this. God, why? It was so merciless to make me remember this. I broke down in tears as nurses rushed into the room. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to experience it. I'd seen all the good parts, but I hadn't wanted the worst part. The inevitable end that we all have to face one day. It wasn't worth it. It was tainted. All the joy was given back 10,000-fold as pain. The fire in my body, my brain surged to sheer while torture, and I screamed. My scream faded into a surprised shout as the machine electricity and chair faded away. Snow was no longer falling around my life. I was out in the woods on a bright summer day. Oh God. I turned to see the creature approaching me. It was the same absence of meaning, the same blank on reality. It crept forward just like before, but this time it hissed and turned away. I stood, astounded at being young again and freed from the parasite. My grandson had actually done it. He'd made me an unappetizing meal, so the predator of mind and soul had moved on in search of a different snack. I returned home in a daze. And while I was sitting there processing all that had happened, the phone rang. I looked at it in awe and sadness. I knew who it was. It was Mar, calling for the first time for some trivial reason she'd admit 30 years later was made up just to talk to me. But all I could see was her lying in the hospital bed dying. No. It was going to end in unspeakable pain and loneliness. I'd become an old man, left to sit by myself in an empty house, his soulmate gone long before him. At the end of it all, the only thing I would have left, sitting and watching the falling snow. But now, thanks to my grandson, I would also have my memories. It would be a wild ride, no matter how it ended. On a sudden impulse, I picked the phone up with a smile and I asked, "Hey, who's this?" Even though I already know. And that's the end of it.
Huh. So he did it. I was like, shit. I was going to end and then fucking killing himself or something.
Oh, this is interesting. There's an author's note. It says, together my grandfather and I did set out to write the tale of his life. Unfortunately, his Alzheimer's disease progressed rapidly and we were never able to finish. He's still alive, but I imagine that mentally he is in a better place than the nursing home. I like to think he's back in his younger days, living life and being happy, because reality is much colder. It's snowing today. He loves the snow. When I visit him, he didn't recognize me, but he did smile and sat looking out the window.
Oh, no.
That's fucked up. Why you gotta put that shit at the end and just kill everything?
So it was all fake at the end.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, it's...
He's living
throughout the whole
he's
time.
He's gonna live it all.
Well, that's like separate from the story.
Yeah, but like
throughout the whole time of you reading it, I'm like, this really sounds like
dementia
Alzheimer's.
and Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so it's just like, and it all makes sense at the very end when that little bit.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was sad as shit.
Yeah, that was a good story though.
Kudos to you. Who was this again? I'm sorry. M59GAR, Reddit user. I would have shot myself if I were the main character. I don't watch movies twice, and I don't like playing story-based games a bunch. I feel you on that.
Yeah, shit. That was a wild one. That
would suck, because think, like, you could blink, and you could be doing something crazy, and then you could blink again, and you're just, like, doing, like, you're at work. Like, what if you kept blinking and you're just at work every day?
You know what I would do? I would only masturbate.
There you go.
So no matter what, every time I blink, I'm just still going.
You do it for so long that every time you blink, it's right when you're coming.
Just like it starts flashing. It's just like...
Mega nut.
He's been orgasming for 27 years.
I like that story a lot, though. They should turn that into like a short film.
Yeah.
A little indie film. Probably do really well.
That guy, I want to know, does this guy write more stories?
Dude, that would be a really good Black Mirror story.
Yeah, that would be a really good Black Mirror story.
Holy shit.
Damn. We should contact this guy. Hey, you want to tell us about your story on the pool with Kiss?
Right.
And even at the very end where it just says it's like Alzheimer's, it's like, that could even make sense at the end too. Right.
Well, I saved that on there on accident. That's supposed to be like... That wasn't even supposed to be anywhere part of the story. It was just supposed to end, but then there was author's notes. Like, so he wrote that saying, I wrote this kind of in memory of my...
Right.
Yeah.
But even then,
yeah,
it's just...
Yeah, like the Black Mirror episode ends and it's just like doctors sitting around like his deathbed or whatever. It's like those Alzheimer's will fucking get you.
It's like, shit.
A rough disease.
Because, I mean, technically, that could really happen to a person in a sense.
That's fucking hard.
Because Alzheimer's, like, you just don't ever know. You don't remember anything, and you just have random figments of your brain.
Yeah.
From memories.
Yeah.
Fuck that. 23andMe is supposed to tell me if I'm going to get Alzheimer's or not. If I am, game over, man.
God. Yeah, Sam's brother he lives with their grandpa, and he has Alzheimer's, and he's taking care of him. I guess they take shifts and stuff. I've talked to his mom and his brother, or talked right at we ran into him or something, but, like, apparently he was, like, constantly will have crazy stories.
Who?
Like, Sam's yeah.
No, yeah, but Sam.
Oh, his older brother lives like last time I heard with his grandpa. He has Alzheimer's, and he lives there and takes care of him. And I guess like they take kind of shifts, like obviously, so he doesn't have to do it constantly because he lives there. So like on the weekends, I think like someone else goes over there and he does. But yeah, like,
that must be hard.
Yeah,
Alzheimer's is scary.
My great grandma that I never see. My great grandma that I never see. Apparently she's like really starting to lose it and stuff.
Yeah.
And like she was telling my uncle Nick went there recently, and she was telling him how I think it was Johnny Cash, how she just was how Johnny Cash isn't dead, and she was just hanging out with him just barely or something. I don't know, like yeah, I was like, damn. The funniest is before, like, his name's Nick and she would call him Rick. I was like, hey Rick, how you doing? And then my cousin was there, and he's like, or she's like to him, she's like, hey, next time you gotta bring your dad along so I can say hi to him. But he was there.
Oh shit.
So he's like, he might be just slowly backed out.
What's up, Radiant Runner? How you doing? Yeah, I've always, like, now that I'm older, I always think back to my grandpa, because I've said it before, but he had, like, several heart attacks and, like, several strokes. And, like, the last, like, probably 10 years of his life, maybe 12, I don't remember exactly, he couldn't speak, like, full sentences. Like, he would just, like, his favorite words were, God damn it. Classic grandpa. And, like, it was just, like, random words. Like, okay, yeah. But it wasn't, like, properly used ever.
Yeah.
But you could see, like, someone would ask him a question. He would understand it, but he wouldn't be able to articulate back. So then he would get frustrated. He'd be like, God damn it. And then he'd be like, okay. And I just wonder, like, I imagine technology eventually will be able to fix stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is great and sad at the same time. But I've always wondered if, while he was, like, sitting there in his chair, if he always knew what was going on around him, or if not.
Yeah, that's...
Because I feel like that would be a living hell if he was consciously aware in his brain of everything that was going around, but just wasn't able to...
Yeah, that's
like,
fucked, yeah.
You know, it would make me feel better if he just didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
But he remembers everybody.
Okay.
Or remembered everybody, like, no problem. He just couldn't, like, say names. Like,
yeah.
I just wonder if, like, he knew stuff that was going on.
You never know. It makes me think so, like, Jerry Sloan, the old basketball coach for Jazz, he has really bad Alzheimer's right now and dementia, and it was so fucked up. So he was at he was at the Lakers game, and they're like, Jerry Sloan up there smiling, watching his Jazz do his thing or something, and then it like a minute later it just goes to Jerry Sloan, and he's just staring. I was like, he literally looked like he probably, like, obviously
doesn't know where he's at.
Like, he had no idea what's going on, but it's like he's up there smiling, and then it shows his face. Like, I laughed because it was fucked up.
Yeah.
He's up there smiling, watching his Jazz team do at best, because, like, Kyle Korver's back on the Jazz, and he coached Kyle Korver.
Yeah.
And so he's like, and then it just shows him, and he's just,
damn.
I was like, that's fucked. Like,
yeah.
He probably, you know, that comes back to, like, remembers, basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, it looked like he was just, like, sitting there, like, what?
I actually saw something really weird that just confuses me even more. But even through dementia and Alzheimer's, you'll never forget music. Like, they say, like, people who learn to play instruments, they'll never forget how to play that instrument.
Man, reminds me of Benjamin Button.
Yeah, right?
At the end when he's
playing
just a
that
little
piano.
kid.
Yeah.
He's a little kid, but he has no idea who he is, and he's just... Ding.
Yeah, just shredding that piano.
That's a weird one, though.
Yeah. Like, what in the brain? So does that mean, like, different things triggering when I'm hearing music? And
it's weird, like, the stuff that triggers... the number one thing for memories, for some reason, I think because it's on this... I don't know, I have to look it up, is scent. Like, if you smell something, it'll...
take you back.
You'll remember more vividly a memory than, like, a sound or something. Like, so you could, like, censor, like... Let's look it up. But, like, it's happened to me before. Like, it's not like... It's happened before where, like, I'll smell something, like, oh, shit, and then I'll think of something.
Yeah.
Like, a party I was at or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a perfume is smelled. Or you'll just smell something, like, where is this fucking from? What do I know?
That one drives me nuts. When you smell something and you're like, I've smelled this so many times.
Oh, yeah, grandma's pussy.
Smells like wolf pussy in here.
Let's see. One of the reasons. Let's see. Your brain processes odors and memories. Oh, let's see. Why sense of smell can trigger strong memories. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be. You can catch a whiff of pumpkin pie, school glue. So this is by Dr. Mercola, and this is just about memory. Let's read this top part. You can catch a whiff of pumpkin pie, school glue, newspaper, fresh cut grass, and suddenly you're immersed with a flurry of vivid memories. Often in your childhood, what is about smells that can trigger memories so strong and real it feels like you've been transported back in time? It's known as odor-evoked autobiographical memory, or Proust phenomenon, after French writer Marcel Proust. In the famous novel Search of Lost Time, the narrator dips into Madeleine cookie? So it is?
Yeah.
It dips a cookie into tea and transports it into long forgotten memories of childhood flooding back. So basically, yeah. Odor cured memories tend to be stronger, more emotional, and from earlier in life. So for some, yeah, I guess.
Just bring back good or bad memories depending on what you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what this one is. The smells can trigger traumatic memories and fears.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't have any traumatic stuff that I know of. I could have repressed memories, and luckily I haven't smelled something. I'm like, oh god, Uncle Jerry's come.
It's so faintly. It smells such like power bait.
It's a musk, and I hate it.
You're gonna drink this random whiskey one day and you're like, this is the whiskey that was on his breath.
I just start puking and crying. Run out of a party. Look what happened to him. Fucking fine though.
Screamed something about Uncle and the whiskey and he just ran out.
Steve Jobs, no.
Steve Jobs, no. Are you gonna give us an improv story or what?
Oh, I forgot. I got pee for something. I'll do it.
Christ. Been waiting off. No, I'm
I forgot. Guitar, ice, and
Breadstick.
breadstick. Yeah. Okay.
You hand me the keyboard. The keyboard.
It's on.
You're on. Nerd.
Some nights I am, some nights I'm not.
Yeah. Like a glove.
BRB? No, I'll do it. Let's make some shit up. We'll see what happens.
Hey. Hi, Sir Manuel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello. What's Sarah been up to? She's been chilling?
School and work.
Oh, she started school back up?
Weaver.
That sucks.
Kinda, yeah.
She doing full time?
Hell no. Well, actually, she's doing 12 credits.
So yeah, full time.
Yeah, and then she's doing more than part time right now. So it's either work or school or homework she's doing right now.
Does she know what she wants to do, or?
Yeah, she does, but I don't know.
That's my favorite thing now. You used to complain about going to the bathroom. Now I get excited. I'm like, ooh, what little dance am I going to get?
Okay, here's my story.
Okay.
One time this girl came over, I played my guitar, and she was so serenaded that I fucked with a breadstick and rubbed her nipples with ice. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I mean, that's a story.
Okay, I don't know, I gotta think where I'm gonna go with this. I have no idea. I'm not prepared whatsoever. I want it to be random.
I mean, that one was already good.
The funny thing about that story, that's how you got chlamydia.
No, I wish.
You ate the breadstick after and just...
Oh, no! Okay, I gotta think of a good story.
Some people like marinara. I prefer clamato juice.
No!
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just thought of...
Almost fell out of the chair.
Just picture... Oh, I didn't want... Because you said clamato juice, and then I was just thinking of what this clamato chlamydia juice would fucking look or taste like, and then...
Not
Don't
good.
ruin it for me. There's some good stuff to eat for that. Or with that.
Oh, God, okay. I gotta think, let's see. Guitar, breadstick, ice. I just gotta think of how I'm gonna start this story, and I was fucking with it.
Cocktails.
Okay. The year was 2007. I was at a...
Classic.
What was I doing in 2007?
You were at an ice bar.
Oh, fuck. No, I gotta think of something good. Do you got any more thing else?
Oh, yeah,
I just gotta think of a good start.
Should we do the sex shop?
Yeah, do the sex shop. It'll bring some stuff. Because I just don't know how my... See, that's my problem, is not the story itself, because I can just fucking randomize that shit, but what's it gonna be about? Is it a funny story, or... Okay, yeah, just go for it.
We got another bio and another story tonight. The story's a two-parter, just for you guys, just so you know. And I'll always say it, just so new people understand. This is our most popular segment right now, I would say. It's called Sex Shop Chronicles. We have a friend that works up in Colorado at a sex shop that also has an arcade in it where you can go in and watch porn and do things in the booth. And she's been giving us stories of working there, because it's obviously crazy, as you can imagine, as well as she's giving us little biographies of her regulars. She has regular customers that come in, and as you can imagine, a regular at a sex shop usually means they got some stories to tell.
For sure.
So tonight is Jim. This is the regular customer.
Jim.
Lemon Twitch.
Lemon Twitch for sure. Can I have this one?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Jim's a
Lemon Twitch.
Lemon Twitch. Jim is a regular preview customer. He is one of my regulars who will come in and stay for an entire shift and into the next shift. How people spend over 8 hours in a porn store without getting paid for it is a mystery to me.
Me too.
When Jim first started coming into our store, everyone was attracted to him. Honestly, he low-key reminds me of a more buff southern version of Forrest.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What do you mean more buff? How can you be more buff than this?
He's an Army veteran, and honestly, I think he has some kind of PTSD. Every time he would come into the store, he would have some grandiose story about his life. I heard everything from my wife is cheating on me with 7 other guys to this person followed me home from the store, so I threw a brick through his windshield.
Jesus.
No matter what, this
7
guy...
fellas.
Right?
I've seen that video on
So
the Hub.
high.
Blacked.
Oh.
Poor, blacked. Poor little Piper. Yeah. She never stood a chance. No matter what, this guy always kept me entertained. I could always count on him coming in and telling me about the crazy shit that managed to happen to him.
Wait.
Yeah, the crazy shit that managed to happen to him in the 10-hour period I didn't see him. I'm also pretty sure he likes dick on the DL. He always made it a point to mention to my coworkers that he doesn't like any of that gay shit. Yet, I've had multiple regulars tell me that he tries to get into their booths, and I would always see him and one of my other regulars come out of the same booth together. Unfortunately, as of 2 weeks ago, Jim is now banned from all of our stores because of an incident that happened at one of our other locations.
Oh, no.
He still calls the store regularly to check in on me and the girl who works graveyards, and to tell us some tell us
They're
more
open that
stories.
late?
Yeah, they're 24/7, 365. She had to work on Christmas, I believe.
Damn.
Yeah. To tell us stories about what's going on in his life. He also asks every single time he calls if we can lift the ban. I low-key feel bad every time I have to tell him no because I feel he has no other place to go. So, that's the end of the bio. So my immediate first question was, what the fuck happened to him? Why did he get banned? Sadly, she doesn't really know. She says, I don't know the whole reason, but apparently he was helping with a theft ring with a sales associate at one of our other locations. As far as we know, he never stole anything from us and actually helped stop a theft before. It's so bizarre. But they sent out his picture in a mass email and told us all that he was no longer allowed in any of our locations.
So, fucking... I also have a question that starts with, what the fuck, or why the fuck does this... Why does that guy remind me of you? Like, I remind you of that guy?
No, just like appearance-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
maybe some characters.
Something to do with the... She's like, Flick seems like the kind of guy that would hang out in a sex shop for 8 hours a day.
And then say he's not into that gay shit, but try and get blowjobs from dudes constantly.
I feel you.
Now, what's interesting is... So, she said that he would spend 8 hours or longer at that store, but then gets in trouble at a different store. So he was spending like 10 hours at one store and then immediately going to the other store.
What's he got going on in his life? What does he do for... He's a veteran. What's he doing for money?
Jim, come on down.
Yeah.
He can come hang out with us and tell us all the crazy stories.
Yeah, you can fucking... once a week, yeah.
I gotta wet my palate.
Yes, you do.
I gotta wet my penis. Oh shit, I wasn't even thinking of a story. I was fucking distracted.
Oh, there's a story too.
Oh, cool, okay. Well, I'll start thinking about my story while you tell that one.
So it's part 1 and 2, like I said. So, working in a sex store, I obviously come across some interesting customers. But I also have had my share of interesting coworkers. The most interesting of which was named Allie Kaufman. Outner. I'm not even going to change her name. In fact, I honestly hope the crazy bitch sees this. It is going to be hard to fit everything I have to say into one story because every day with this person was a story itself. So I'm going to break it down into 2 parts. The first part will be me introducing you to Allie and some of the absolutely insane shit she would say on a regular basis, and the second part will be the story about the end of her journey at the sex shop. Allie was the strangest, most annoying, uneducated piece of trash I have ever had the pleasure of working with. Among some of my regulars, she was known as Fish Hooks because she had about 12 piercings in her face. She would also wear the same blue and pink eyeshadow every day that she ordered on Wish for $1. Damn, we just fucking out in this bitch.
Do it. I like it.
She would always wear clothes that were about 2 sizes too small for her. It seemed like she would make it a point to wear her thong so far up her ass so that she could pull it up onto her back so you could see it every single time she would bend over.
Damn.
Upon meeting Allie for the first time, she made an interesting impression. I said, "Hey, nice to meet you, Allie." To which she responded, "You know, it's really hard to find the type of porn I'm into. Even working in a sex shop." What a fucking great introduction.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really strange response, but I didn't want to be rude. And that's when I made the mistake of asking what kind of porn she was into. If you guessed demented clown porn, you would be right.
Oh, what?
Anyway, I mean, it doesn't shock me. She sounds like a juggalo. Anyway, Allie worked for the graveyard shift, and I worked the 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. shift for the most part, so we would almost always cross paths. During our shift change, she would always tell me the most outrageous stories. She told me everything from stories about her broken relationship with a man known as Cartoon.
She's a juggalo for sure.
Definitely. Which was apparently his prison name. The stories of how a demon possessed her cat to tell her she was pregnant.
I need this girl on the podcast.
Yeah, she fucking...
I think all the regulars.
I wish I was kidding about how outlandish and downright ridiculous her stories were, and had the time to tell all of them because every day was something new with her. She was also notorious for texting us pointless things at 3 a.m. For example, she once asked if she should call the police because there was a bee in the store and she was deathly allergic. This bitch had no common sense, but like I mentioned, she worked graveyards. That shift is the slowest and most uneventful shift, so it was always a mystery to me as to how she managed to make her sales goal every single night. She constantly had people coming in specifically asking for her, and they were always some of the sketchiest people. Later, I found out why, but I'll save that for part 2.
Damn. So tune in later for fucking part 2.
Let's take guesses on why these people are coming in for Allie Kaufman. I think she was banging out clowns in the back.
Yeah, she's definitely doing some... Yeah. Man, she's making that sales goal. So maybe she makes them buy DVDs and she'll...
Alright. I'll top you off, cartoon. Gotta buy a couple of those dildos.
She's gagging on some fucking chodes for good old sales.
Right?
That's a great sales tactic, though. I mean,
money's money. Hey, sleepy boy.
What?
Do you want to go home now and you can get some
Wait a
rest?
second. I just need to, like, I was sitting straight for too long. Close my eyes, close my eyes, because that last story zoned it. I don't think I was there.
No, that happens.
That's my type of zoning out for some reason.
So we gonna get this story?
Yeah.
Or?
I'm just gonna go random because I have no idea what the story's gonna be about either.
Perfect.
It's a mystery for all of us at this
Those are
point.
the best stories.
Okay. The year was 1984.
Make it 95.
95? 1985? Okay, the year is 1985. A young Rusty Cronenberg was born. Rusty Cronenberg, I don't know much about him, but I know a little bit.
He's a classic. He's a classic, man.
No, okay, so year is 1985. Rusty Cronenberg had just been accepted into a great academy, and he had been wanting to go to this academy for his whole life. And he wanted to go to the academy because the academy was for lawnmower sales. And Rusty Cronenberg had dreamed about being a lawnmower salesman his whole life.
He knows a thing or two about cutting grass.
Yeah, just like Hank Hill. He knows how to cut that grass. He knows what he wants in life. He wants to be a lawnmower salesman, and if he can dream high enough, he would like to be a lawnmower designer. Because he's got some ideas ahead of him. He actually, let's see what year. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so he was, going to the academy to be a lawnmower salesman and maybe a lawnmower designer. But in his free time, he liked to play the guitar. And he wasn't very good at it, in fact. But that's okay. So he would play guitar, dream about selling lawnmowers. But one day at the Lawnmower Academy, he had a fight. Rusty Cronenberg got in a fight with Craig Smilburn. Craig Smilburn was a real asshole. But Rusty Cronenberg, he's a good man. He just wants to sell lawnmowers. And he saw... What's his name? Craig Melbourne. That'll be his name now. Craig Melbourne was being an asshole to Rusty Cronenberg's lady friend, Sheryl Crow.
Fuck, Sheryl Crow was at the academy? Damn.
Wait, so Craig Melbourne was being a real McAsshole to Sheryl Crow. And he was calling her all sorts of names, like Cheryl Raven, stuff she didn't like to be called. So Rusty Cronenberg stepped up in there. And he was like, well, fucking Craig, you best stop. We're eating lunch right now. If you don't stop, I'm gonna shove this breadstick up your asshole and out your mouth. And then Craig's like, well, fuck you, buddy. And then, so he did it. Rusty Cronenberg shoved a breadstick so far up his ass it came out his mouth. And at that point, Sheryl Crow was very impressed. She's
very impressed. I'm impressed.
She was like, hey, fucking Rusty, think you could do that to me? But with your dick, he's like, maybe if I have a little ice.
Oh, damn.
That's the story, because I don't think I can keep going tonight.
Big fan of the story. The only thing that confuses me is he was born in 1985 and then immediately got accepted in the academy.
You don't judge him.
Infant. He came out the womb of Mons.
You know what he was about. Baby Jesus, you not seen the movie?
Damn, you're right. You right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with a better story next time. I was too intrigued by Wes's stories. That story was, I was going along with it too. I was like, I don't know where this is going. I'm just going to be saying words.
This is going to go until it goes.
Oh, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yeah. Yes, Lord. Start it.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. I guess that's what he's talking about, underage girls in that song.
Oh, God. No. No.
Drake's doing Drake stuff. I don't know. It's so funny that it was a meme.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like, oh shit, it's true.
He's really doing shit with underage women.
Who?
Drake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had that girl on stage.
He was diddling a 17-year-old right on stage, and then he learned her age and still diddled her.
And then talks about, like, being friends with, like, that Millie Bobby Brown, who's, like, 14.
The Stranger Things chick.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they, like, text all the time about boys, and it's, like, really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard her story.
Yeah.
She talks about that.
Then she's, like, trying to, stick up for him. She's like, no. And then she's telling all the stuff they talk about, and everyone's like...
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Yes.
In the background reading what she's saying. It's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, Drake. Oh, season me, Poppy.
He's like, only once did I hang out with Bad Baby, or whatever her name is. He's like, I've just been hanging out with her lately. Like, no, he didn't actually say that.
Counting down the days.
Yeah.
She's almost 18.
She's only fucking 3 years, baby.
What we don't know is Drake is a very patient man.
No. Apparently, he's marking on his calendar.
Right.
He's like, fuck it.
One more day.
He's just like prepping these young ladies.
It's weird.
Yeah. The funniest is, so in that show Future Man, they go back in time. They do a lot of time travel in that show, Hulu. But there's a really funny episode where they go back in time and they have to go to a black fraternity, and it's fucking hilarious. But the one guy's dressed as an astronaut because it's in 1969. It's the night of the Apollo moon mission. So they're doing space themed party that night. So when the one dude's in like dressed as an astronaut, and like he has a name tag for someone else there, and because it's a black fraternity, one of the dudes come up, he's like, "Do the Bill Cosby impersonation," and he does this joke, and I didn't know it was a real joke. My dad sent it to me. It's called the Spanish Fly, but he's literally talking about drugging a girl's drink and about her being asleep and stuff and doing stuff with her.
Oh,
so he literally, way back in the day, had a joke about diddling a girl that he had drugged.
Oh,
that's fucking hardcore.
Yeah. And then comes out, oh, he wasn't lying.
I guess he did the Louis C.K. approach, like, you guys should have fucking known.
Yeah. It's fucking wild.
What I think's crazy, too, is, like, hearing, like, famous people talk about, like, stuff like Bill Cosby and, like, you know, other Hollywood people like Harvey Weinstein. They're all like, well, everyone's heard about it, but no one knows if it's true. It's like,
yeah,
you guys fucking heard. Like, if that many people heard about it, it's probably true.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how many people got to say? I mean, Harvey Weinstein made me suck his wiener for a role.
I would admit, too, I was like, fucking I'm in Avengers now.
Yeah, right. Earth is flat. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No arguments. I mean, obviously.
And the actually whole solar system revolves around the Earth, too. So,
I mean, you've seen the pictures. Like, no curvature when there's pictures taken from space. Mm-hmm. From space, apparently.
Yeah, fucking goddamn NASA's making up pictures and shit.
Now, not trolling apart. Like, obviously we're trolling a little bit, but did you hear about the new group that's out? That's gaining very big popularity?
The big gays?
No, not the big gays. It's a group of people who think space is fake.
What?
And they are. This is the funny part. They used to be a part of flat earthers.
Oh, but they're
flat
extremists?
earthers kicked them out of being.
Because they were too crazy?
They're too crazy.
That's fucking hilarious.
Lizard men are taking over.
Yeah. I'm curious about these no spacers.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Don't. Oh,
I mean,
don't!
We have one right here. Manuel doesn't believe in space.
Or what?
You don't believe in space. You think it's just a hologram, right?
Hell yeah.
I have a coworker
It's like
that
dinosaurs. The fuck is that?
Yeah, the Earth's only 10,000 years old. There were no dinosaurs.
Look, this is the top one. I have a coworker that doesn't believe in space. Reddit.
Of course.
The universe is an egg. The moon isn't real. Oh, okay. An egg, huh? Festival TV. I don't believe in outer space. Okay, this is just some weird stuff. 8 times flat earthers tried to challenge science and failed. Well, obviously. I need this button though.
I don't believe in humans.
Who's this guy? I don't think we should try to make space our own. Oh, fuck this guy. Well, what are these cute coats? Is this Daniel Tosh?
I don't believe space exists. You're not going to put a camera on a Roomba, stick it in the desert, and tell me it's Mars?
Okay.
Damn, Tosh, calm down.
It's just cute little quotes, but just these random people. What? I believe whatever she says. Space? I don't believe in space. Neil deGrasse. Is this that what story? Is it a play?
I don't know, but it's definitely like gaining traction. People are legit, like, you know how there's people who legit think the Earth is flat, like not trolling. There's
This
people
guy looks
who
like he would
not believe in space.
This guy's pissed because you don't believe
Big
Ace
fan.
Tucker, Space Tucker is the something. Well, I'm curious about that article.
Big chump fan. You guys know what's up? You heard about the Hollow World theory?
I
Yeah.
have. I'm super intrigued by that one. We need to
Do some
research on that one.
Well, since you're here and we're talking about lizard men, I will read my recent research on the New World Order conspiracy.
Let's hear it.
Because that's always a good one. So this is an article by John Pfeffer. I like his name, that's why I went with it. So he says, conspiracy theorists are obsessed with the wrong New World Order. The real globalists have been destroying civilization for decades. And then editors note the article originally appeared at tomdispatch.com, not sponsored, to stay on top of important articles like these. Oh, yeah, don't read that. Come on, Wesley. Don't read that part. You know the story. The globalists want your guns. They want your democracy. They're hovering just beyond the horizon on those black helicopters. Why are they just black?
It's fucking...
They control the media and Wall Street. They've burrowed into a deep state that stretches like a vast tectonic plate beneath America's fragile government institutions. They want to replace the United States with the United Nations, ease national borders, and create one huge, malevolent international order. The only thing that stands in their way is take your pick, the Second Amendment, Twitter, or Donald Trump. Conspiracy theorists have, in fact, been warning about just such a New World Order for decades, going all the way back to the isolationists, critics of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and to fears about the United Nations in the post-World War II moment. During the Cold War, the John Birch Society and fringe elements of the Republican Party neutered just such anti-globalist sentiments, but they never made much headway in the mainstream world. As the Cold War ended, however, the anti-globalist virus began to spread again, this time more rapidly, and it's threatening to become a pandemic.
He says Manuel has big arms. I assume.
Big arms and big dreams right now.
A little sleepy boy. So this is called the Agenda 21 Dystopia. On September 11th, triggered 1990 though.
Ooh.
Just after Saddam Hussein just after Saddam Hussein ordered the invasion of Kuwait.
Kawhi Leonard? Oh no.
Damn. Just before the reunification of Germany, George H.W. Bush spoke of a new world order. That would unite all countries in defense of the rule of law and thwart the Iraqi autocrat regional ambitions. The phrase was meant as a rallying cry, not an actual plan, but that didn't stop the president's America First critics from reading all manner of mayhem into his speech. The elder Bush, who had long toiled in the shadow of Ronald Reagan, was in some ways a curious target for those who feared the end of U.S. sovereignty. As recent, I don't know what that word is, post-homoeus assessments revealed, he was an early champion of states' rights, supported prayer in school and the NRA, made a U-turn as a presidential candidate to oppose abortion, launched wars in Panama and the Persian Gulf, and presided over the collapse of the Soviet Union. Anti-globalists, however, focused on a different part of Bush's resume. He'd gone to Yale, later belonged to a wealthy elite of Texas oil barons.
He was part of the... Wait, is that Bush Jr.?
Senior. Served at Texas oil barons and served as ambassador to the United Nations and was a card-carrying member of both the Consul on Foreign Relations and the most elite of global agenda-setting outfitters, the Trilateral Commission? Trilateral Commission? You know what that one is? Trilateral Commissions?
Let me see.
Trilateral Commissions? Oh yeah, Trilateral Commissions.
I think.
Such characteristics made him particularly vulnerable to attacks from the far right. Preacher Pat Robertson, for instance, disliked Bush's staid, whatever that word is, Episcopalianism, and resented losing to the future president in the 1988 Republican primaries. In his 1991 bestseller, The New World Order, Robertson refocused all his ire on the president's presumed global ambitions. Is George Bush merely an idealist? Or are these now plans underway to merge the interests of the U.S. and Soviet Union in the United Nations? He asked, and then, of course, provided the answer. A single thread runs from the White House to the State Department to the Council on Foreign Relations to the Trilateral Commissions to secret societies to extreme New Agers. There must be a new world order. There must be world government, a world police force, world courts, world banking and currency, and a world elite in charge of it all, according to him.
I don't know. I kind of believe it.
A little bit, yeah.
He said, well, I'm from Germany. We leading the New World Order.
Right.
For sure.
Though that 1991 book is largely forgotten, the televangelists,
televangelists, I think.
Yeah. Attacks on Bush's globalism resurface again and again in different forms, beginning in 1994, for instance. Tim LaHaya and Jerry Jenkins left behind series.
That name.
Jerry Jenkins, I do too.
He'd be good in my story.
Right? Left Behind series spun Robertson's dire predictions of a one world government into 16 novels and some movies, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So that's just what this dude wrote about, what this guy's opinion was on it. Support progressive journalism. If you like this article, please give today to help fund the nation's work. Once you start looking for Agenda 21, it pops up in all sorts of strange places. Newt Gingrich ran for president in 2012 with a pledge to rescind the plan. Ted Cruz linked it to, you guessed it, George Soros, and warned that the implementation would deprive Americans of their right to play golf, no joke, Most recently, YouTuber and Twitter have lit up with contrived reports that Agenda 21, not climate change, was somehow responsible for the latest California wildfires.
Is that the lasers and shit?
Yeah, I think Agenda 21 is just this whole idea of them trying to set up for a one ruler.
Yeah.
And here's the truly bizarre part. While Glenn Beck, Newt Gingrich, Ted Cruz, and the rest of them were nattering on about an obscure, non-binding UN document, they were missing the real story. A nightmarish New World Order was indeed being constructed around them. It's global, aimed at destroying even more American lives, and according to a recent Trump administration report, getting worse by the minute. So obviously this article is written by someone on his side, but
it's like that's what the deep state, that's kind of like the whole New World Order is that, like, it's not pro-Trump really, it's just that Trump's not part of the elite.
Yeah.
So that's why they're
battling,
like QAnon and stuff.
Yeah. So this is titled, part of this article, the real New World Order. A significant number of Americans believe that they're still relatively safe behind the walls of Donald Trump's fortress America. Homeland Security protects them from international terrorists. Border Patrol agents block caravans of refugees and asylum seekers. By refusing to ratify membership in institutions like the International Criminal Court, Congress keeps the United States safe from foreign influences. President Trump has only reinforced such feelings by pulling the United States out of international pacts like the Paris Climate Accord and global bodies like the UN Human Rights Council. Because the world keeps knocking on America's door, the present wave of nationalist politicians has added a few more locks for safety's sake. All such pre-accusations, however, have done nothing to prevent the establishment of an actual New World Order on American soil. Yes, it's happened. Even the conspiracy mongers haven't cared to notice. There is indeed a new global order. It's called climate change, and unlike the scenarios imagined by the anti-globalists, it's wreaking havoc not in some dystopia future, but right in the here and now. The prairie fires that struck Oklahoma, Kansas, and the Texas Panhandle in the spring of 2017, killing 7 people and destroying an area equivalent to 3 Rhode Islands. Hurricane Maria and the devastated large areas of Puerto Rico that fall, leaving nearly 3,000 people dead. Hurricane Michael that swept through Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia, with unprecedented winds and flooding this October, killing 45 and causing $30 billion in damage. And the wildfires that raged across California in November, killing more than 80 people and destroying nearly 14,000 homes. And that's just to begin the list of weather catastrophes in the country. Global warming did not, of course, create the weather itself. It's only intensifying it. As the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change recently put it, a changing climate leads to changes in the frequency, intensity, spatial extent, duration, and timing of extreme weather and climate events, and can result in unprecedented extreme weather and climate events. This summer, for instance, saw record high temperatures in the United States and around the world. Large stretches of the South and West experienced near record droughts in 2018, while other parts of the country suffered from historical levels of rainfall. North Carolina recently endured astonishing, or whatever that word is, years worth of snow in barely more than 24 hours. So a whole year's worth of snow in 24 hours.
It's crazy.
Both the number and the severity of the Atlantic hurricanes are also on the rise. And according to a Trump administration report released last month that the president himself rejects, it's going to get a lot worse fast. The 4th National Climate Assessment paints a dire picture of plummeting agricultural yield, declining dairy and seafood production, spreading wildfires, shrinking water resources in the interior of the country, and flood areas on the coast before century's end. Extreme weather events since 1980 have already cost the U.S. more than $1 trillion. By 2100, the assessment projects the cost of climate change will absorb as much as 10% of the country's annual gross domestic product. Meanwhile, any hopes that global carbon emissions have begun to flatline in recent years, thanks to efforts to move toward renewable sources of energy, were dashed this month with reports that the output will actually grow by a projected 2.7% in 2018, a larger percent than the previous year, on the way to the highest levels on record. Americans can blame state governments or Washington for failing to respond in a timely manner to their disasters, but such intensifying weather patterns aren't a local or even a national phenomenon. What's happening in the United States is happening everywhere. The New World Order of climate change connects people abandoning their homes to rising tides in Florida and Bangladesh, dying from drought-related fires in California and Australia, being swept away by huge storms in the Carolinas and the Philippines, or losing their livelihoods in Nebraska and Honduras. It's an order defined by a terrifying new rulebook in which more carbon emissions translates directly into less polar ice, increasing an increase in sea levels and more extreme weather. Climate change doesn't care about borders. Okay, so we're just going to talk about climate change. So, blah, 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 blah. So it's blame the globalist from 2006, 2016 before... Oh, I don't want to read that.
Sounds like there's weird stuff that some elite group is covering up.
Yeah, so it's saying that the New World Order is working, from my understanding, is New World Order, whoever it might be, is working to not fix.
Yeah, what if, well, that's kind of the whole New World Order thing. They kind of want to kill population. Like,
right.
It's kind of like they're Thanos, the fucking...
Snap it out.
The real world, but...
Because I think they realize that there's not enough resources with... And what's funny is you say that, and the United States this year has the lowest birth rate since the baby boomers.
Yeah, a lot of countries do.
So is that...
I don't know, it's weird, like... I don't know, just weird stuff, like... This whole thing makes it, like, some of them actually make sense, which... People are gonna start becoming a crazy conspiracy theorist. Because what if they're all right? Like that deep state, like, you know, Trump is obviously super hated right now. What if it turns out he actually knew something we didn't with this whole deep state thing? I'm not saying, everyone listen, I'm not saying this is true. What if it turned out that way? Like, he's this fucking unsung hero. He's willing to be the most hated man to try to fight for us. I'm not saying it's real, but... What if that's the deal? And that's fucking crazy. Like, 100 years from now, like, oh shit, like, his crazy shit he was tweeting was right.
Right.
Like, oh fuck, we were all big assholes to him. Shouldn't have been a douche though, but...
Yeah, he could go about it a little bit differently,
yeah.
But...
No, it's just weird. Weird to think about.
Sometimes you think about Manuel sleeping and he's just a beautiful little boy.
And
Well, I got one more article, or we could save it if you guys want to call it.
It's up to you. I don't give a shit. Bye.
Let me get up.
Okay.
Shaky.
Do you want a sip of this very sweet beverage?
No, I think that'll just soothe my calmness. I just need to get up and just...
Walk outside. It's probably cold as shit.
No.
That will put the shiver in your butt.
The fear of God.
That's what I did a few hours ago.
I got a joke that I'm working on that I want to tell you after the podcast.
Yeah.
And have you bounce any ideas you might think. I think it has potential as something funny, but
okay. I'm just gonna stand for a second.
While you stand, how tall are you?
5'7".
Hmm.
How tall are you? Wait. Let me phrase that. How small are you?
Damn, that was rude as fuck.
I think I was gonna look real quick and see if I.
What?
Whoa. My ass is just showing.
I was seeing if I had a joke. I thought I wrote something down.
Thick. I am right on the cusp of 6'1".
Really?
Yeah. If my posture was better, I would always be 6'1". My posture's not the best.
Really?
I try to work on it, and I try to be more aware as I'm slumped in this chair like a fucking degenerate. But, you know.
You're like, this is too comfortable.
Yeah.
No.
That's the problem is, like, sometimes it's more comfortable to just not.
It's very true.
I was bummed, so I bought my parents a freezer 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, because, like, my parents bought a new freezer combo, like 3 or 4 years ago, and the freezer section is really tiny. Like, it doesn't fit much. So, like, every time they would, like, complain, like, we don't have any room for the freezer. Like, so I just bought them a freezer, like, one day. Like, it's like $140 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just recently went out. It broke. Only a year and a half, which is shitty. But I had warranty on it, and I was thinking, like, oh, warranty usually means they'll send someone out to fix it, or they'll just send a new one. They just gave me an Amazon gift card for the exact price of it. The problem being is that same one is now like $70 more expensive.
Oh, what?
And I was like, okay, well. And it was the exact price of how much it cost, not including tax or shipping and handling.
Dang, you should send them another email.
Oh, I have.
Oh, yeah?
Like, well, they sent me back the details of my warranty and said that this fits exactly the detail of the warranty. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, shit.
It's like, well, fuck.
Was it, though?
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I got my money back for the freezer, which is great, but the same freezer is now more expensive.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah, that's...
What were you looking up?
I just thought I had a joke written down, but I think it's on my other phone.
Oh.
I had a new one I was working on.
You fucking lame.
I kind of remember it. It was like, so I don't know about you guys, but I keep getting, like, messages on, like, Instagram and stuff for, like, cam girls or escorts and shit. And my joke is just gonna be, like, something along with, all these chicks, like, keep messaging me, like, escorts and cam girls, they keep messaging me the details of their page and stuff, and I really appreciate it because it's making my life a lot easier and I don't have to look for it now. Something along those lines, yeah.
I don't have to go looking for porn.
Okay, escorts come to me now, baby.
It's that good promotion.
They got a great sales tactic. One of the girls that just messaged me on, because for some reason, I guess I don't have it set to where anyone can send me messages, so I have to approve. And it's like, one pending message. Do you approve? And I like click on it on Instagram, and it's like, the name is just see me naked here or something like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, sounds great.
And I was gonna say too, I wish fucking, I said it before, but I wish chicks hit on me like dudes do. Like, so I put that picture of my face real close up, and it said, "So you picture my dick, please respond." You know, that one's me. And then some dude would have sent me a message. I don't know who you sent it to, but it wasn't me. And I was like,
so God damn it.
I was like, I wish girls would send me shit like that.
Right.
Not like I would send them the dick pic, but girls don't flirt with me like that. Dudes sure do. Oh, God.
What was that?
I don't know, it was real weird, though. It was like... It's gotta be one of the chairs. Like, after it settles.
That was weird.
Yeah.
So... this last one that I have is about the murder at the Salem, Oregon.
Yeah.
And I forgot to read this last time we were doing these, but so the backstory is there's a gentleman named Michael I still don't know how to correctly pronounce his last name.
Twinkle Toes.
Not Twinkle Toes. Close, though. So it's Franke. So
Franke.
So Frank.
Frankia. Oh, my tower!
I'm just going to say it's Frank.
You can call him Frank.
Yeah.
I'm going to pee real quick, but
so
I'll be quick. You can tell a story.
From my research so far, the Salem, Oregon prison had a lot of bad shit going on. Like, it sounded like there was people who worked for the prison that were working with inmates to basically drug run and do a whole bunch of trafficking and different things like that. And they would do it through the prison and out of the prison, all that. So the prison hired this guy, Michael Franke, to come in, and he was kind of like a do it by the books guy. And he was, he's kind of like he's like the dude you bring in to fix shit, from my understanding. Well, he was murdered. Like a little while into starting to work there, because I think he was starting to realize like what was going on. So far in my research, I think some of the people that worked with him who were doing this bad shit set up this murder to kill him so he's not involved anymore, so they could keep doing this shit. And the man who is convicted for his killing is named Frank Gable, and I'm pretty positive he's an innocent man, because there's tons of research and tons of evidence that proves that this man did not kill Michael Franke, but Frank Gable sitting in prison and has been for quite some time now for the murder of him. So this is an article by Les Zatz.
Lesbian?
Yeah, Les Zatz from the Oregon Live page. So let's go ahead and read it. A plate shattering in a parking lot could unlock one of Oregon's most durable murder mysteries. Attorneys for convicted killer Frank Gable say they have new evidence proving he could not have killed Oregon prison director Michael Franke. Franke was stabbed to death on the evening of January 19th, 1989, outside Salem's Dome building headquarters for the Oregon Corrections Department. A Maroney County jury 2 years later convicted Gable, who is now serving his life sentence in an out-of-state prison that state officials wouldn't identify for security reasons. So he's been in prison since 1991.
Jesus.
Gable, a petty crook, maintained his innocence. A succession of lawyers have fought without success to overturn his conviction. Franke's own brother has long maintained Gable didn't do it. Now, Nell Brown, assistant federal public defender, has taken on the case, asking a federal judge for either a new trial or a reduced sentence. But in a new affidavit, Vera reverses course. She recounted how the couple was served an eviction notice after a rowdy gathering in their apartment complex. The court filing recounts witnesses telling about event, including one who told of throwing the plate. The noisy evening provoked the apartment manager to evict the Gables. So Vera is or was Frank Gable's girlfriend or wife or whatever. So they were throwing a crazy party, and they got evicted the next day.
Okay.
Or they got an eviction notice from it. So the court filing recounts witnesses telling about the event, including one who told of throwing the plate. The noisy evening provoked the apartment manager to evict the Gables, according to the court filing. In her affidavit, Vera said seeing that eviction notice more recently reminded her that it came the day after the party and the day after Franke was murdered.
So he was at a party at the time of the murder?
Yeah. She said if she had seen the notice during the murder investigation, she would have testified that Gable had, in fact, been home that night. She also said phone recordings refreshed her memory that a Gable associate called the apartment roughly 90 minutes before the murder. She said Gable talked to the man and was home until an hour or two after Franke was stabbed. Her affidavit, however, doesn't address comments to the Oregoneer in 2005 when the newspaper examined the Franke murder. She recounted a tearful Gable telling her during an argument 3 or 4 months after the murder that she didn't understand the pressure he was under. I stuck the guy, Gable said, according to Vera. What guy, she asked. The guy at the hospital, Gable answered. The Oregoneer's review could find no collaboration then that Gable's alibi fleshed out in more than 8 hours of interviews with Gable. The Oregoneer review could find no... I don't know what that meant, but whatever. Police files showed the theories being advanced in the new court filing had been pursued. Investigators dug into conspiracy theories and evidence that others killed Franke. None of it panned out. A retired state judge separately dug into prison corruption as a possible cause of Franke's murder. He found no such link. Gable has reportedly tried to get Oregon's Court of Appeals and Supreme Court to give him a new trial, except on a narrow issue of the quality of work by his lawyer. His appeals have been denied. The next step in the current appeal is for government...
Hey, good night, Big Papa.
Hey, good night. The next step in his current appeal is for government attorneys to respond. The latest attempt to exonerate Gable cites new evidence, including recantations by key witnesses besides Vera. They include Cappy Shorty Hardin. He testified at trial that he was parked near the Dome building with a young woman named Jody Swingerin when he saw Gable stab Franke. In an affidavit executed in Iowa 5 years ago, Hayden now swears, I didn't see Frank Gable stab Michael Franke.
So are all these stories different? It sounds like everyone's story is doesn't make any sense with the murder.
To me, it sounds like they set up this Frank Gable guy as the murderer, and all these people were in on it.
Yeah.
So they may have got some payouts because I think there's corruption in the prison.
Yeah.
Murder with Hayden, but at trial she denied she saw any such crime. In a new affidavit, she said she lied to the grand jury when she said she witnessed the murder.
So damn, it's fucking dumb.
It could be pressure from...
I was gonna say, are they pressured before or after? That was the question.
Right. Dan Walsh, he testified that Gable twice confessed to him that he killed Franke. In a new affidavit, he said that wasn't true. Kevin Walker, he testified that Gable confessed to him. In a new affidavit, he said that wasn't true. In his appeal, Gable contends their original incriminating testimony came from police tactics that included the relentless abuse of polygraph tests. David Raskin, a polygraph expert who examined records in the Gable's case, said in affidavit filed on Gable's behalf that witnesses were intensely interrogated, pressured, coerced, and frightened by the angry and sometimes violent behavior of the interrogators. He said he found serious misconduct in how police polygraph examiners tested these two, subsequently pointed the finger at Gable. Unethical and flawed polygraph testing procedures combined with improper and coercive interrogations appear to have provided the means to shape their statement in order to obtain false testimony. Raskin wrote, who's the professional expert on polygraphs. Jesus.
I was looking, but yeah, I think most of them are bots.
Yeah. He said witnesses were polygraphed repeatedly, sometimes on the same day. Jody Swingerin was given 23 polygraph tests in 12 sessions, Raskin wrote. I have never seen that many tests administered to one person in the 43 years I've been working in this field. Walsh said in his affidavit the police yelled at me because the polygraph results showed he was lying. Eventually I told the police that what I thought they wanted to hear, that Mr. Gable confessed to me the details of the murder, Walsh said. Mr. Gable never confessed to me. Gable's lawyer also revives a conspiracy theory that has dogged the Franke murder almost from the start. Critics of Gable's convictions have theorized that Franke was murdered to stop an investigation into drug-related corruption inside the prison system. The filing said there is evidence that one of 3 other men killed Franke, and the evidence was presented to jurors at Gable's trial. One man, they said, repeatedly confessed to the killing. Another, the filing said, appears to have been paid to kill Frankie. That was Timothy Rooster Nadevdad, a small-time drug dealer who himself was murdered 2 weeks after Frankie. The court filing said that Greg Johnson, an associate of Natividad's, told a defense investigator that he spent time with Nat, I'm just going to say Nat, around the time of Frankie's murder. According to the filing, Johnson said he dropped off Nat at the Dome building that evening of the murder, returned later, remembered Natividad saying, "It's not my blood," when he got into the car. A few days later, he went along with Natividad to get his payoff. Two men in a car, possibly with Oregon government license plates, pulled up, and one of the men handed something to Natividad, which Natividad later revealed was $20,000 in cash.
Damn.
The court filing recounts. Johnson recognized the two men as state prison officials, the court filing said. Gable told the Oregoneer in 2005 that doesn't believe Natividad was part of a plot to murder Frankie. It doesn't make no sense, he said. So
allegedly, a couple people gave this dude 20 G's and they were in a government license plates, and he said they were prison workers, right?
Well, just like small-time crooks.
Okay.
The people who are paying it.
Yeah.
Were the
prison officials.
Yeah, allegedly the prison officials who. The conspiracy is that this Michael Frankie was figuring out that they were doing like drug smuggling.
Yeah, and then they set up a whole thing for a murder
to have him killed and framed this Frank Gable guy who, as of today, still sits in prison.
Damn.
Since 1991.
This needs to be a Netflix series.
Probably
will be the forerunners of it.
I would love to do that.
Back, and there he was. And that's all I say.
Right?
Once episode, and it just shows like a fucking actor rendition of this what happened. And just I say, and there he was, and I'm also the actor. It'd just be going panicking. I'm like, ooh, oof. And like, oh shit, it's wild.
Well, do you fellas have anything else? Did you have any good dreams?
No, just whispers of whispers.
Makes sense to me.
I'm gonna set up a fucking. I need this one to be this way though.
Then you need to dress up like the dude from Grandma's Boy. Talk like a robot.
That'd be sweet. I'll just sit, and then on this side I'll put a kind of same thing. I'll build a cube.
Wouldn't be hard, because then you can just like flip them out so when you want to get up.
Yeah, I could easily control this right now though. Like, if I just had a way to, I guess, I could put a tray here.
Huh.
And I could just game from back here. Just use the big monitor. But yeah, I don't got anything else for today. My brain's broken today. I don't know why. I don't know if I slept shitty or like what, but just not working. My creativity level is like a
My body's
3.
telling me that it's the weekday.
Yeah, you're used to waking up in a couple hours.
Yeah, you're well asleep. Shit, what time do you normally wake up? Is it 3:30, 4?
4:50.
That's way too early.
Yeah, that's shitty.
I don't even go to bed that early.
Hell no.
I know, sometimes I Snapchat Cameron and he's just getting up for work. It's so funny.
That would suck, honestly.
What?
I used to be able to do that, just stay up.
It's my life now.
I don't think I've ever been able to stay up longer than a certain time to like even just like do anything. It's just my body's just like sleep. It's when you gotta sleep.
Yeah, it's just what you get used to. I usually start getting tired around like 4:30, and then I pass out, and then I'm up for work around 11 noon.
Damn. No, thank you. Sometimes. Oh, God, this makes me sound like a real piece of shit. Sometimes I'm like, God, if I don't go to bed, I can't get 12 hours in.
Well, I mean, you love what you love.
Yeah. I'm like, I still
interesting.
I still manage to get stuff done for the most part.
Yeah, as long as you're getting shit done.
More lately than last year. just gotta be more productive this whole fucking year. And I'm trying, so.
Yeah. We gotta take the podcast places.
Gotta be better than I was last.
Push it to the limit. I got some got Maverick's car, and we got a little crew to go drive for one night. This was last week, the first time I went with him. We're his friends, pretty chill people, but we got, I think that one time we had 2 Evos, WRX, and RS, which is the Ford RS.
Yeah.
And then as well as a Mustang, but he left early. This was fast. And then a Camaro of a friend's brother. And that was fun. Him and Maverick raced. They were pretty even, but it's kind of intense until you see them going to slowing down on the freeway and just take off. But this last time, we were gonna go over to a car meet, and the night before, which was 2 days ago, went out, drank, woke up, and he stayed at my place because he's like for sure couldn't drive. So I'm like, yeah, fine. Woke up and started watching football. First time in long ass time, but he likes kind of watching it. So we watched the 2 games on the Sunday.
Oof.
The Patriots and something, and then the other one was like
Chargers and Philly and Saints.
The Birds.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. There was like 15 minutes left, and it was surprisingly pretty good. So I was just like, he wanted to watch it, but we ended up just leaving. But that's when I had to stay for a little while because I had to give him Sarah's sister her gift, which was I finished it, which was the candle wax egg shaped candle wax. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had to like do all this stuff to it, but inside of it is a little dragon.
Oh yeah.
So did that, left, went to go get his actual car, warm it up, then go to the car wash. And at the car wash, luckily we got there 10 minutes before everyone fucking decided to go a car wash at, what time was it? 6-ish? But it was already dark. Cold as fuck.
And tons of people were showing up.
Yeah. I mean, all his friends showed up there, which was a given. But, because that's what we were meeting. There's like 7 or 8 other cars. Like, what the fuck? We ended up finishing that up. Driving all the way to fucking Provo. Getting there to the car meet. While going there, I was in his car, racing the Camaro, and that was pretty fun a few times. They can get going fast. But we get there, and there was just a bunch of cars that were somewhat nice, and someone almost backed into the Camaro.
Oh, shit.
Someone yelled out, "Stop!" And they stopped. And I'm like, oh, that would have been expensive.
What year Camaro?
I think it was a 2018. Super nice. But yeah, we did that. My sister was there too.
Cool.
There was okay cars, not that interesting, because we ended up, because they were getting it, the whole group, there was about 30 something cars, and they were gonna get the whole lot to just go out on the freeway and just kind of do a drive around. But we ended up just waiting for most of them to leave, and then we did our own thing because there was like 6 of us. There's 6 different cars with us, so we did our own thing. Drove around really, really fast. That was fun. Fast enough that I started getting scared and just holding on to the. I'm like, this is fun, but I'm just gonna.
I ain't
just
trying to die
case.
tonight.
What stopped at? What was it called? It's like known place for them to meet on Sundays. It's like coffee shop. It's a coffee.
Where
Sunset Coffee or Sunset something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but almost like
Sunset Cafe.
Sunset
on
Cafe.
1300 South.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So right before we got there, there's a BMW that was passing by, and Maverick's like, watch this. So he revs it, and the guy slows down. And this is the sucky part, but he slows down, and then goes again, and then Maverick follows a little bit, and then I was like, oh hell yeah, he's gonna race him. But I ended up realizing that we were the light, we were supposed to turn left, and he was going straight, and I'm like, oh, he wants to race you. And even Maverick's like, should I do it? And I was just like, you say yes, but I don't want to say yes for him. And even the other guy was just like, oh man, I wanted to race him too because it sounded nice, but we ended up not.
Damn.
A fun night.
I know the one night a couple weeks ago when you invited me to the car meet, I was like, no way, I'm not standing outside in the cold looking at cars. I'm gonna stay home.
When was that?
Like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Not last weekend.
That was last week. No, we weren't like looking at cars. We were just in cars driving around with the friends, and then went to a hookah bar. That the guy, he knows the guy, the owner, because next to him is his barbershop.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
He's pretty chill. Nicknamed Gordo.
Isn't that a little fat?
Yeah, that's what I call my little brother. Gordo, come here. Did that. What else did we do? Oh yeah, they got walkie-talkies.
So they can talk to each other?
Yeah,
that's
it's actually
hilarious.
pretty smart, actually.
They all need CB radios, like fucking Smokey and the Bandit.
That would be the shit. Tell Maverick he needs to get a CB radio and then get a little beagle.
I'll fucking... Yeah. Like Need for Speed, I just... Alright, Maverick, you're racing. I'll pull up alongside him and hang out and fill up his car from my car. Go, go, go!
That was interesting.
Will be his pit crew.
Yeah, on the road pit crew.
But in doing so, like, being around these cars is making me really, really, really want like a project car.
It'd be cool. I should show up at at the car meets with my RAV4. Just like, check it out. My modifications include a roof rack, some light bars, and a push bar. Did it all myself. I popped the hood. Check this bad boy out. It's just like wires wired shittily. Please go to the lights.
Yours would probably be better than like at least 5 or 6 cars that I saw that were just pure Hondas and nothing on them. They just.
I also have wheels on this bad boy, 17s.
I keep them clean.
2.5 liter, fucking 4-cylinder engine. Boom, boom, boom. Sound dope.
You know what you need to do
is,
I'll light you up.
Find some like Ferrari and Lamborghini noises and just turn it up loud right before
speakers. It's just me on a megaphone. Boom, boom. Like, is he doing that himself? Like, oh shit, he's got bullet valve on that bad boy.
I've seen that video where people are just driving around with a loud ass speaker in 2 cars, and they're going just half the speed limit, and all you hear is like, and people calling the cops already. Just like we heard some cars driving past by fast. I'm like, oh yeah, right here. Just shows the noise to them.
The funniest is the dude that has like the tuba or whatever, trombone.
Oh,
and he's just hanging out of the. He's just doing it himself.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
It's pretty good.
I've been looking. I might actually buy a Type R if I can find one. I can't ever find them.
Be real tough.
Fuck you if you do.
I really like it.
Yeah, it'd be hard to find.
Yeah, they're not anywhere.
No, and they're just...
I saw a rare Volkswagen.
Up the ass fucking expensive.
There was only 5,000 of them made. Someone on on my Facebook, so probably on both of our Facebooks, their dad was selling one, and it was number 23 of 5,000. And it was the Golf R32.
The 32s are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Very compact, but...
Yeah. It's funny, someone posted a Type R on one of the sell pages, and I have it set up to notify me anytime Type Rs get posted. And cause I want a new one. I like they're clean. And it was listed for $8,000, and everyone was like, I was like, what the fuck, like. So I immediately just messaged him like, I'll buy it right now, like, because it had like 20,000 miles, never ragged, nothing.
So super scam.
Yeah, no. He's all like, I'm sorry, dude. It was supposed to be 38,000. I was like, he's like, I've gotten like 15,000 messages already.
Jesus.
Or something like that. He's like, I just typed there. And I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
it's like, damn, 15,000 people that got their hopes up.
There's
right?
a couple of them. They're all 2017s. There's 2018, but...
You want the newer ones, because most of the new ones, they've worked out little,
this
little
one's
mistakes
a 2018
that they've missed.
Yeah.
40 G's, though.
Right.
If you can find one for 40, that's okay. There's so many
That one's
dealerships that are
That one's 38.
upselling them just up the ass.
Yeah.
But when they first started out, they were going off for up towards like 65 grand.
Yeah.
I still want a Focus RS. Just because they're real quick boys, all-wheel drive.
Dude, they're nice inside.
They're fucking dope. I've always wanted one ever since. And then they finally came to the U.S. and...
Mm-hmm. Or next time they do a little drive, I'll ask you if you want to go. And there's one.
I was looking at one at the Ford
Yeah, it's a
dealership
red
in
one.
Bountiful. Yeah, they're fucking... Yeah, there was an all blacked out one up at Willie Ford up there. Or Performance, whatever the fuck it is now, just like that. They're fucking dope. They got like 400 horsepower stock.
They say that.
It's like 381, but...
I think he has his at like 340, I think is what like it actually comes down to.
I gotcha.
But I think it's because it's limiters.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
Still fucking dope, though. So many cars that I would love to have, but don't got money for. There's this fucking... It's European.
Do you think you would be able to adjust to be able to drive a manual on the opposite side?
Dude,
That'd be
Tokyo,
tough, but
I was looking up to rent a GTR.
Yeah.
An R34, my dream car. Oh,
They always have them for
For-
sale in KSL.
for one day, I can get it, rent it for $260
Damn.
You're gonna have
for
to.
one full
You're
fucking
on
day.
opposite
24.
road and opposite side in the car.
Fuck it.
I could get used to it.
I would
Yeah.
fucking gladly do it
Yeah, I could do it.
if Sarah let me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too
She
hard.
put a foot down so fast.
Yeah, I could do it.
It really wouldn't be that hard. It's just like realizing that it's not only you're using your left hand, but everything is
Yeah,
almost opposite.
I could
You
do
know,
it for
it's
sure.
like the same gear where or like the where the gears would be, but it's like
Starting opposite side. Yeah, I could
Yep.
do it easy. I'm pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that too, because your first gear would be
Far left.
closer.
closest to you on
No,
your
it'd be the same one, wouldn't
closest to your right, but now
pretty
it's
sure-
furthest to your
it? Yeah, so
left.
it's still the same. Like, the gears are exact same.
But
so
you're going
it's still
away, and this way you're going.
Towards you, yeah.
Towards you.
It'd be like the exact same gear positioning.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was like
No, it's
it'd be flipped, so it'd be
No.
like first would be closest. Like,
no, it's still exactly the same. So first is just far
That
left.
doesn't change. Just
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I could do it easy. Yeah, I could handle it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes
I could do her. I could do her in the face.
doing real good.
What's another car I want? I don't know. There's this thing I'd never heard of before. What was it fucking called? So it's the Ford... What's the little truck called?
You want a Mazda Miata, don't you?
No.
Venom or something like that, or Veloso.
Yeah, that's a little one. Ranger. Ford Ranger. It's in Australia. Oh, wild truck right there. It's only in Australia, these bad boys. But they're fucking super cool. Like... I was like, this cool little truck. Not that one, but... Yeah, just these ones. They're only in Australia.
Crikey.
They're fucking sweet.
They
Little
look
Rangers.
like they could go fast.
They say that the new Ranger, our Raptor Ranger, they say is the best off-road drive vehicle you can get now.
Not bad.
That's like my favorite truck. If I had to pick, it'd be the Raptor.
Have you seen the Ranger though, Raptor? The little one?
Uh-uh.
It's just a mini Raptor. And they say it's like the best off-road vehicle you can get right
Some
now.
would say it's a Velociraptor.
Yeah. It's like Posty's new Velociraptor. I don't really like it that much. But, you know, it is what it is. The 6-wheel. This one. This is here in Utah, so if you see that, that's Post.
Yeah.
He's wearing fucking flip-flops.
I don't know what his deal is. He looks
Look
so
up the
miserable
truck, like, I
constantly.
think it's like Hennessy or something.
It's this other one that's cool.
That's like, I've seen one around, but I forgot exactly what it's called. But that thing is over like, I think 90 or 100 grand. And that thing has so much power. And I forgot what it's called, but I think it's like either a Ford or a...
What is it?
It's like, it's a weird name. It's like either Hennessy or...
Is that a truck?
Yeah. Just type in Ford and then put in H, see if it pops up.
Ford Hennessy? Look, right there. Is that it?
No, but that's one of them. It might not be Ford. It might be like,
Hennessy Velociraptor. That's what Post has here.
maybe Chevy.
Damn, I didn't realize that it was actually called a Velociraptor. I was
Yeah.
making that as a joke because they're smaller.
No.
Damn. Fuck you, Ford. You're still in my limelight.
Or Chevy.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing?
Yeah, no, it's not.
So Hennessy is
God
just
damn it.
the name for a fucking 6x6?
Just look up, or maybe just look up
Or a 3x3?
the fast new truck. 'Cause this is new, like within the last like 2 years it came out.
Oh, drugs. Oh, my nuts. Okay.
Oh, wait, it could have been a Dodge. I think it might have been a Dodge.
12 quickest packet Fortran is ever tested. So this is ever though, so it's not gonna be new. We'll see though.
I'm like certain now. It should be a Dodge.
Oh shit.
Dodge. What would it
So
be?
there's the Laramie, the EcoBoost F-150, limited Toyota Tundra,
Tundra, brother.
the High Country 2014. To that, of course.
Country road. Take me home.
Ford F-150 has all sorts of these little trucks that have the Mustang engines in them, like the Ford Lightning, that one. Those are nice too, inside the Denali's. That's like driving a Cadillac.
Oh yeah, brother.
If there's Lightning. That one's the one with the Dodge Viper engine in it.
Viper.
I thought you either.
Man, fucking goddamn, it's gonna bug me now.
The big dumb. The big brain block.
Big old cocks and dick in my ass.
Oh yeah?
No, probably you though.
Ooh. It's not gonna be big, but it'll be there.
It'll be there.
It'll come to the party.
Yep, it'll happen.
Cutest little truck.
Definitely that pink one.
Go shit about that little bitch. Those are cute.
Yeah, look at that. Fucking cruising down the street.
Don't give a shit about these kids. I just want to see a cute little truck.
Cute little truck.
It is a cute little truck.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that cute little trailer.
Fits one. Don't need two.
Fuck your wheels. Well, there's a cute little. Oh, it's like a truck, but. Cutest little man. Oh, they're just babies actually wanted a little man. Cutest little. This type of cutest little. Memes. Cute little fella. He's a cute. This is a cute little fella.
Yeah,
It's a Bambi. Oh. Oh, he's a cute little fella. These are pretty cute little fellas. What about that one?
What are you looking up from?
I typed in cutest little fella. That is.
Look at his little mustache.
Fuck that little fella and that one. Oh.
Damn, it looks like he's smiling.
I don't give a shit about the kids. I want to see cute little fellas. No. Oh. Look at them little pats. What? Oh.
Damn, give him a little top hat.
Look at that. This charming little fella. Oh.
It's a baby little lizard.
Aw, cute little Asian fella. Fuck that kid. Aw, he's hugging. Buck.
Let's get bugged. Yeah, cute little chubby boy.
Oh, little fluff.
Bulbasaur. Fucking useless lettuce.
I purple you? Okay.
Dumb.
Fuck that kid. And that kid too. Okay, I gotta scroll through now. Well, that's a cute little alien.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little
There's a
bow
big
tie.
old chonker possum right there.
This needs to be my hairdo. All the small
Right.
things. Man, I want to keep that picture. That's Tom.
Cute little chonker.
I kind of like type in cute little chomper now.
Chomper?
Yeah.
Dude,
Cute little chomper. See what pops up. Oh.
Shelby.
the cat looks high as fuck.
Okay.
Messy, messy, messy.
Will you type in biggest chonker?
Chonker?
Chonker.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
That chonker.
He's chonking, alright. Hey, fella.
Relaxing chonker.
Oh.
Chonker the
I think his name
rhino.
is Sean.
Sean. Damn.
What? Is that your cat, Derp?
Pretty much. Look at the one on the left.
What the fuck is that?
That's a big chonker. Wait, his name is that. The tall chonker. He's an admin.
Damn.
Wait, go up for a second.
Well,
To that
this-
cat you're at.
Which one?
Go up a little bit more. That one you clicked on? That's your face when you invite the girl over and she pulls down her pants and has a bigger dick than you.
For sure.
That's- ooh.
Ooh. Rough. Ooh.
It's a face of like, oh no, but slightly interested.
Look at this guy.
Damn, that is a huge old chonker. Ooh. What do you think he eats?
I don't know.
So I'm
Fucking
pretty
smaller
sure it was this
chunkers.
one. It's,
Har?
This one fat little wild boy.
He's
got no neck.
oh god.
Where'd his neck go?
Sorry for you guys that can't see this.
Look at oh my god, that's Chonker Meowgie. That's what I want Meowgie to turn into. Just a big
And
old
he just
boy.
meows miserably.
So I don't think it was exactly this one, but I'm pretty sure this is one of them. This is over $100,000 truck, but it has over 750 horsepower.
That's a
That's fucking nutty.
beast.
The nutty professor. Send you a picture of my dick. Please respond. Man, that one I sent you guys just real close and it said howdy. I was laughing so fucking.
Howdy.
I was like, why is this the funniest picture I've ever taken? I was like, and then I was thinking about that being my Tinder profile picture.
It
Just
should be.
it looked like a fucking thumb. Howdy.
Thumb Wars, dude.
Oh man. Someone allegedly brought a disposable dab pen with us to Wendover. Then on the way home, I allegedly used it. And Jesus Christ. That was like fucking the world's hardest video game. Fucking staying in the lane, allegedly.
Oh no, boys.
I was just like, and like I was like, am I going too far back and forth? Like for some reason, I was like, am I like? I was worried that I was going, and then slowly I was fine. But then like, and then I was thinking about how, because I was telling Chandler earlier about how I was passed out. And then I was like, how funny would it? And then I just started laughing out loud. He's like, what's so funny? I was thinking it'd be hilarious if I pretended to, because it was like right after I told him about that. And I was like, what if I just pretended to pass out and just see what you guys do? Chandler just has to grab the wheel. He's like, I don't know, I guess I would just grab the wheel and then figure out from there. I was like, then I just start screaming. I go, and then,
I think it'd be funny if you just started speeding up too, like your foot's like heavy on the pedal.
Just I was laughing out loud, just thinking about their reaction to it. Would I be if I just started going, yeah, fucking. Joe's like, ooh, here goes the wheel, because we're going pretty quick. He's like, fuck, what I do? And that was real funny to me, I don't know why, but yep.
I think I'd probably smack you, try and wake you up. I think that'd be my first response. Like in all reality, if like we were driving and you just passed out, I think I would like just give you a good old heaper right on the face, try and get you up. And if you didn't get up, I guess I'm using your legs and driving.
Be pretty funny. Oh Lord! All right,
what would be more funny is like I'm grabbing your pant legs to like gas and whatever, and you come to, and I just got my hands on your pants, like pulling them down.
I'm just, what are you doing?
Don't worry about it. You see that dick, boy?
Where are we? Who am I?
Who am I?
Oh Lord! All right. Anything else? Play that outro. Alright guys, have fun with this outro. Let's get telling you some details.
Bye. What in tarnation, an outro?
Hey partners.
Thanks for watching the episode. I'm sure that we were stupid and silly and funny, and you love us. I'm glad you made it to the end. We want to show you the other stuff we got going on in our world. If you scroll down on our Twitch right now, you'll find our About Me, what's going on the podcast, different things like that. We have our links to everything down here. If you want to donate, you can. You don't have to. It helps us out. Here's our schedule for the next upcoming little while. There are streams that come in every once in a while that aren't on the schedule. Mm-hmm. Our Patreon is one thing that we are trying to take off. We really enjoy Patreon as a service, and they let us do whatever we want. So when you click on this Patreon link that you scroll down below, it will take you over to our page, and this is where you can find some exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else right now. It's not on YouTube. It's not anywhere else. We have a couple podcasts that are privated, just for certain reasons. Got a little too rowdy for YouTube. We also have a couple exclusives, which are pretty raunchy, especially our classic XXL BBW and Chlamydia, a Forest and West story. The OG story. If you haven't heard that story or haven't heard anyone reference that story, now's the time.
It's only $1.
It's $1. It helps us a lot, and we also have some deals going on. If you want to up the buck a little bit, we'll give you shout outs. We want to help each other out. Obviously, the other big thing is YouTube. Everyone knows what YouTube is. All of our podcasts, some of our old gaming can be found here. Our new exclusive Bible Boys just went up on Patreon, and also Spooky Boy Things is up on YouTube. Make sure to check those out. We got lots of old gaming, Layers of Fear, Outlast, some of the classics. Watch Forrest get jump scared. And then for some of the new age stuff, we're on Spotify. Everything's on Spotify. And of course iTunes. We have everything uploaded to iTunes. The only other one that we don't have pulled up is Podbean, but Podbean links to all this. So go check it out. Go follow us. Our Twitter is down below on the Twitch as well. Instagram's on there. Facebook is on there. We reply to everyone's messages.
And also on iTunes, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. If you like what we do, we'd really appreciate it.
And just remember, the more that you guys help us out, the bigger we get. Of course, the more we're going to help all you out. So, throw us a bone. You know what I'm saying?
Really motherfucking appreciate it. But yeah.
Thanks for watching the episode. We love you guys. Have a good one.
See you guys later. Dad.